Oh my god! Hello. Welcome back, everybody. How y'all doing? I miss you.
Hey.
And I miss this game.
I miss steaks.
Yeah, so's Wilson. Wilson also misses steak. Well, yeah, that's sad.
I see.
That's sad.
I don't?
Wilson didn't get to have his steak before he died, remember?
Oh, right.
Wasn't his steak.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
unfortunate.
Yeah, but he still didn't get to have it.
Yeah.
That was his mistake.
It wasn't. Wait,
No.
it wasn't his steak though.
But he could have had steak if he wanted to eat.
He could have,
But he couldn't.
he wasn't having
wanted to.
steak that day.
His last meal was Novocaine.
Oh no! Sad. Anyway,
Or possibly laughing gas.
hi everybody. Welcome back to Grace Attorney.
Grace Attorney.
Grace Attorney. What do you guys say we reread this just for
Yeah.
just to catch ourselves back up?
Yeah,
Hey,
I could do full
Could
screen.
you full
though.
screen?
Yes, of course I can do that. Yes, of course.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, yes, there you go.
Danke.
Donkey?
Danke. Thanks in
Danke.
German.
Yeah.
Oh, it's me! I had arranged to meet a slightly late luncheon with Dr. Wilson that day. The professor was unable to eat, so I ordered for myself only a beefsteak. After a while, the accused came over to me to greet the professor, and they got into a fierce argument. Then, not long afterwards, the accused took the professor's gun and shot him right before my eyes. I don't carry a gun myself, so obviously I couldn't have been the culprit.
Yeah, so if memory serves, we ended the last stream with everybody being like, I'm pretty sure that she could hide a gun anywhere, but then they were like, oh, but where exactly? So that's probably going to be what we're going to start
You're
with.
like, oh, well, fuck you.
Yes! After 2 p.m., in fact. That's really quite a late lunch, isn't it?
You don't keep up with the latest fashions from Britain, do you? Late lunches are en vogue. Is that how you say it?
Sure.
Close enough.
Yeah,
Isn't that
vogue.
right? When is the G silent and when isn't it? No.
Ask France.
No,
Oh,
the G
wait,
is
that's you.
pronounced, the U is silent.
Hang on, very important line. Lunar?
Saps.
No, that's
No.
you.
This is me.
Yes, it is.
Brett? Who's Brett?
Giselle
Wait,
Giselle
Brett.
Brett is you, Lunar.
Yeah, Giselle
Oh,
Brett.
well. No.
Yeah. Sports.
The decisive English no has quite a sting to it.
The gentlewoman is currently working in the victim's research laboratory, it seems.
Hey, Clueless, I'm reading your message, but I think I prefer this. Thank you.
So it was apparently a daily occurrence that they would launch together.
But on the day in question, the victim had another appointment at the clinic first.
Yes, which we can prove from the medical report card that was submitted as evidence earlier.
That's right. Miss Britt and the victim went to lunch following the victim's treatment, which is why they was so late.
Yes, that all makes perfect sense.
Such wonderful logic. What a shining example of English intelligence this fine gentlewoman is.
So you both arrived at the restaurant. What happened next?
The professor wasn't able to eat, so I ordered for myself only a beefsteak.
Yes!
Yes.
He was unable to eat, you say?
What was wrong with Hold It?
I don't know. They want to do
It's
this.
Wanna make it
Japanese.
different.
And that was because he just had a tooth removed at the auto clinic, correct?
That's right.
You're supposed to actually check with the witness before answering.
Was Miss Brett aware of that fact?
It seems so, yes. She heard that the professor was to have some dental treatments.
So that would mean that it was you who ate the steak pictured here. Is that right, Miss Brett?
I think we've gone over that.
That's right, yes.
But she hasn't told us that.
The print you have there shows the table exactly as it was left after the horrifying events.
Exactly as it was left.
Dear me, what a harrowing experience. To travel to a distant island on the far side of the world and be embroiled in such a tragic incident. I have no fear, my dear lady. I swear I will crush the evil fiend that has subjected you to this terrible plight.
My dear lady. So the victim, Dr. Wilson, had nothing to eat or drink at all. Oh, just noticed that they don't use the dots in the doctors and misters, which is a British thing.
That's right. Other than some carbonated water.
Just water? Carbonated water, why?
Sparkling.
Yes, because he doesn't have taste.
Yeah.
I mean, the professor was unable to eat, but he had been given permission to drink water. So it appears that
La Croix.
So it appears that the diner toasted their lunch with a glass of water each.
Given permission to drink water. You may sip it only once.
So they raised a glass of carbonated water.
What do you think, Ryunosuke? About the witness's last statement?
This is interesting that we have green text when it's not testimony. It's
Yeah.
very,
Yeah, but-
obviously it's very meaningful. Yes.
Can I see a picture of the
Hmm?
dinner table?
Sure, in a moment.
I was also going to mention the chat overall seems to have trouble reading, actually.
Okay. Which one do you want to look at? This one?
It's
Okay.
one glass.
I just
Right.
want to check if there was a second glass.
Oh yeah, look at that. There's only one glass of
there
water.
isn't.
That's it. Yeah, okay, if the chat thinks that it's gonna make the experience better. Let's see here. Alright.
I think that was it, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That last statement of yours, Miss Brett, has a profound bearing on this case.
Well, how fascinating. Do tell us what is profound bearing. What is this profound bearing, hmm?
The significance of the statement will become apparent when the time is right. The defense calls for the witness's last statement to be formally added to the testimony.
Well, sidestep, counsel.
Well, very well. Miss Brett,
Outstanding.
kindly repeat what you just said to be added to your official testimony? Well, I enjoy
No
this.
eating in the courtroom.
Oh, your face.
I was gone for so long.
Gladly, she said.
Bailiff, fetch me a pastrami on rye. That was brilliant.
That was brilliant, Kazuma. I'm gonna remember that one.
Which one?
The significance will become apparent when the time is right. I could really use that phrase.
I hope there are some more useful tips you're picking up from this experience than that, Ryunosuke.
I ordered a beefsteak for myself. The professor and I said cheers over a glass of carbonated water each.
Well, hang on. Wait, did it add that? Isn't that what we just examined?
This is what was added.
It was?
The carbonated water.
Okay. Yes! So both you and the professor drank this carbonated water, did you?
Yes. Being the waiter, I poured the 2 glasses myself. I
You're not
clearly
making
remember
testimony
doing so.
here.
Except you're actually a detective.
And the beefsteak. That was for you, Miss Brett.
The lady said that she heard it was not customary to eat beef here until Japan opened its doors to the world.
Yes, that's true.
What a frightful place. It's the lady's opinion.
And I've heard it's not customary to eat sashimi in Great Britain. Now that's frightful.
Every country has its own cuisine. As long as people have food to eat, what does it matter what it is?
True. Come to think of it. The first time I tried carbonated water, it was much more of a shock than the first time I tried beef. I bet.
Yeah.
But anyway, back
Understandable.
to the witness's statement.
Clearly, they have not yet invented ramune.
That fried right there is the best fried in the game.
Incredibly good turn. I love that. Somehow I feel
right
like,
at me.
there's something out of place in what she's saying.
I'm staring directly at the camera and it's making me uncomfortable.
Even more
right
now
to
that
the
we
fourth
panned.
Ryunosuke, we can't use this take now. You looked at the camera.
Oh,
We need to
sorry.
pounce on even the slightest thing now. Because you never know what might lead us to our goal. Our goal of turning this trial around.
Understood, Kazuma.
Stop looking at me with them big ol' eyes.
Yes! I never got into an argument with the professor. All I did when I noticed him was go over and say hello.
Please don't get angry with me.
No. I wasn't directing that retort at you. It was meant for the lady next to you. But anyway, as I said, I did not argue with the professor.
I am afraid your words are in vain.
Sorry.
You're not testifying right now.
Miss Brett does not appear to speak Japanese.
No, of course not. Japanese is just a cumbersome language anyway.
Shut up, Ouchie.
English is the future. We must all speak English.
What? What?
My God!
Whoa! What?
Game.
Wow!
I wonder if the prosecution will feel that way forever or only in the presence of a beautiful woman.
Well, that beautiful woman is telling blatant lies with a completely straight face. I have to find something that will unravel her testimony, no matter how seemingly insignificant it may be.
I mean, the
That
pains
must have been a
do
weird.
suck.
That must have been a weird sentence to localize.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, it seems that after the argument, the accused briefly returned to his own seat.
That part ties in with what you said, doesn't it?
Yes, I still had some coffee to drink.
And the next time you got up after that...
Was when I'd finished my coffee and stood up to leave.
Hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go right on back. I'm gonna go
Do
over
the
here. I'm gonna do the thing.
Look at the
Here I go.
glass.
Here I go. Look at this
Look at this
glass.
photograph.
Look at this photograph.
Yes.
Yes.
That's it. Let me just confirm something, please. It's to do with this photographic print. Just a short while ago, you spoke of this print showing the victim's table at the crime scene. That it was exactly as it was left.
That is correct, the lady says.
Ha! Well, it's odd, very odd.
Dear me, what's odd is the defense's inability to express itself.
Ryunosuke, what is it about the print that looks odd to you?
Well, obviously it's the cheers.
Hmm?
The fuck you on about?
Where everyone knows your name?
Miss Brett just told us that she and the professor said cheers over a glass of water. But if that's true, there should be 2 glasses on the table, not 1.
You're quite right, Counsel. There's only one glass pictured here.
Are we supposed to be impressed by this nitpicking over minutiae?
Minutia.
Minutia?
Minutia?
Eh.
What possible difference does the presence or absence of a glass make on the case?
Oh, that's not me.
Oh, there it is.
Objection. Minutia, you say? Could it be that the detective here removed a glass from the table to conceal the lady's presence?
Of course not. I would never do something so reckless.
But there should have been 2 glasses on the table. Or are you going to try to tell me you can clink with only 1?
Yes. You're quite right.
What is the sound of one glass clinking?
Nothing. You can't.
It's like this.
Oh.
Smash it on the ground?
Smashing.
I certainly took 2 glasses to the table.
I like this. Another!
Lubba-dubba-dub, is that true?
Yeah, you go, big guy. Oh, Inspector, what did the lady say?
It would seem that it was Miss Brett who took the glass from the table.
What?
It was all so terrifying, everything that happened. I panicked and thought I should try and hide the fact that I'd been there at all, she's saying.
Good gracious. Oh.
Sorry. I mean, sorry.
Go man, no sad.
There, as I assured the court before, this is of no consequence at all.
Oh, please.
We must remember that this student had just murdered this lady's luncheon companion before her very eyes. Who would blame her for concealing a glass or two in her state of disarray?
That's absurd.
Really? So do we take it that you are now going to accuse this vulnerable, young, and beautiful woman of mischief?
Wait. No. This can't be put down to mischief.
I'd like to know exactly how the lady took the glass from the scene.
Tiki desu ka?
It would seem that she slipped it into a small handbag she was carrying.
A handbag, you say?
Yes, Your Excellency. A small handheld pouch commonly carried by well-to-do women of England.
So, the beautiful lady has very graciously explained how and why she removed the glass from the scene now. However, the fact remains that the glass has absolutely no bearing on the case. This student has been trying to confuse the court with logical reasoning, but in the end, it comes to nothing.
That's it, that's the series.
No more pretentious accusation. You have wasted enough time already.
Indeed, the lady has offered a satisfactory explanation as to why she removed the glass. I think henceforth we can consider the matter to have no bearing on this case. Counsel, for the defense, are you in agreement?
Well, I don't know, really.
If you want to pursue this matter further, you're going to need to show that it has some deeper significance.
Yes, you're right. So she took the glass away in her handbag. If there's a deeper significance there, it's the glass, the handbag, because then she had a place to hide her gun.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that is true.
Yeah.
Wait, the lady put the glass in her handbag, you say?
Yes, do try to keep up. It's already been explained to the court that all English gentlewomen carry handbags for small items.
His current haircut really makes me realize how satisfying of a sound his head would make if you were just to slap it.
Flap. Let me see. A little while ago, Miss Brett stated the following. There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun. But what she forgot to mention was her handbag. Slap her! Oh, damn it. In which case, it would be perfectly possible to conceal a gun.
You're right!
Well done, partner. I had a feeling you'd pick up on that too.
What are you insinuating, you vile blackguard? Did I say it right this time?
Yes. Good job.
Good job.
Yeah, I learned!
It's really very simple.
No,
wait
that
for-
word sucks!
I can't wait for all the situations in which you can use that word.
Yay! Like 5 more times in this game and only this game.
I see.
The gunshot was heard when the defendant picked up the gun from the restaurant floor. As he didn't fire that gun, we can deduce that there must have been another firearm at the scene. The true murder weapon, if you will. Do ballistics not exist in this universe yet?
Probably
I
not.
don't think so. What they're talking about.
You can't seriously be suggesting.
Maybe it exists over in Europe, but not here. Inspector Hosanaga,
Yes?
did you or did you not search Miss Giselle Brett's handbag on the day of the murder?
No, sir. I did not.
As I thought, In other words, another gun, the one that was actually used to kill the professor, could have been hidden in Miss Brett's handbag.
No!
Oh, yes. Order, order, order!
What is the meaning of this, Inspector?
The meaning of what, Prosecutor Ouchie?
Why on earth did you not have the lady open her handbag and to show you the content at the time? Thank for your bungling incompetence. Now she has to endure these uncomfortable accusations.
Brilliant work, partner. Now we have a chance to expose the real woman behind the mask.
Do you think so, Kazuma?
Tell you, Hawthorne, I'm gonna be so upset.
Stop dying.
My real name
No.
is Giselle Hawthorne.
Oh, no.
Well, what a sorry situation. Clearly, you have no faith in the police.
Eh?
As I said, I did not search the lady's handbag after the shooting. Simply because it was unnecessary.
Unnecessary in what way?
I'm a defense
I ought
attorney.
to-
Of course, I don't trust the police.
I ought to thank the student lawyer, really. I have a piece of evidence here that I had completely forgotten about.
Updated.
These
on-
photographic prints.
Oh.
Oh, it was see-through.
This print is of a photograph that I had thought would be prudent to make immediately after the shooting.
Okay, so that's Wilson's wrist, and he has the same mark that's
Oh.
on his plate? That's
The,
weird.
the bull? The bullhead?
Yeah, because here, I'll show you. See?
Oh.
Oh.
Well,
Because his hand was resting on it? Like he got imprinted
It's a
into
hot
his hand?
plate.
Yeah, it's one of those hot plates. Like they bring it out to
Yeah.
you, and that plate's still like super hot.
Yeah. I guess that's
So
it.
Ow.
Okay. You said this? Yes?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
As you can see, it clearly shows Miss Brett's handbag.
Yeah, to be fair, he doesn't really need to examine that one.
But what if there's like a secret pocket
Yeah.
Where?
on
It
the
could
other
be-
side of the
It
hand?
kind of looked like it could have been.
It's see-through.
Well, I never!
did you
Okay,
check
the thought
swan?
process. The thought process is there is one see-through pocket, and then on the other side of the purse there is a not see-through pocket.
Yeah, I
Yeah, see-
can't see through to the chair or the
Yeah.
table.
Yeah.
Exactly. So what's that part? What's that? Maybe you
Yeah.
can get in that. Yeah, that's a good point. Jay, did you say this?
You can see right through what's inside!
That's right. Apparently, meshwork bags like these are in the height of fashion in London at the moment.
So the contents are clearly visible.
God forbid you want to have a pen in your bag, though. God. Oh, it's
Yeah.
really inconvenient.
Exactly. So there was no need to search a lady's handbag. If there had been a gun inside, it would have been immediately obvious.
Ah,
As you can see, there's nothing to imply Miss Brett's guilt here. Thank you for helping me to prove that, Naruhodo-san.
oh.
Order! Inspector Hosoda, you will submit that print as evidence at once. Why was it not already in there?
Because I slipped my mind, as I told you, Your Excellency.
It's a poor mind you got there.
Photograph of the
I'm
handbag.
dying, Your Excellency.
Okay, fair point.
Photograph taken by Hosonaga-san after the incident occurred. It shows Miss Brett's handbag by the chair and the victim's table. Okay.
I think you've had long enough to cross-examine the witness counsel. And you're doing a great job. The court has been shown considerable evidence. as the photographic print just submitted into the court record appears to have no further significance, I am satisfied that there is no longer any room for doubt in this matter, and I must make my ruling.
Indeed, and there's only one logical conclusion. That the pathetic rookie slumped over the bench before us is the only possible perpetrator of this crime.
No. Just when I thought I was beginning to turn things around. I'm in a worse situation than I was at the start. I mean, no, not really. Kazuma?
I'm sorry, Ryunosuke. Now that the cross-examination of the witness is over, there's no way to force the trial to continue.
What? You mean this is it?
I must say, you put up quite a fight for a rookie student. But the weak are made while the strong eat. You were wasting your time. There's no way to defeat true justice.
Not when you're a piece of shit.
How dare you? A fact you can chew on to your heart's content from the inside of your cell.
This can't be happening. Am I really going to be found guilty of a crime that I didn't commit?
Yes.
And Kazuma, his dream of going to study in Great Britain will slip through his fingers. Kazuma.
What?
Is there really no chance now of turning this trial around?
You heard the judge. And there's nothing about that last photograph that the detective produced that we can contest. Which means there's no basis on which we can argue for the trial to continue.
Very well. I will now proceed immediately to the ruling.
It seems we will be able to report to the British government on time after all.
That smug little...
Ryunosuke Naruhodo, having considered all of your wit.
Yes! Slap.
What does that mean?
Wait, Your Excellency!
Ryunosuke?
I don't think you can rule on this case yet.
This amateurishness is getting tedious. When His Excellency thinks that the trial is over, he gives his ruling. It never ends before that point.
Mm-hmm.
That is the most basic protocol in the courtroom that will never be broken.
Yes! Your Excellency, just a moment ago you said this. As the photographic print just submitted appears to have no further significance, there's no longer any room for doubt in this matter, and I must take my ruling. Now that means that if there was a problem with the evidence, some significant detail I mean, then ruling on the case at this time would be out of the question.
This is blatant straw clutching. Look at his photographic print. All it shows is the handbag the gentlewoman was carrying on the day of the mission question, and nothing else. There can't be no problem with this evidence.
You'd better know what you're doing, Ryunosuke.
I understand your objection, counsel. Certainly, the new evidence submitted by the detective has not undergone the court scrutiny. However, I fail to see how we can glean any new information from this handbag.
Ha! My thoughts exactly. Really, the prosecution is becoming tired of this rookie's desperate wheezes.
Yes, I am desperate, but this isn't a wheeze. There's something about this photograph which just doesn't seem right. If only I could put my finger on it.
You may not touch the picture.
Are you sure?
Well, very well. I will grant the defense one final opportunity.
What?
Oh.
But be warned, if I am unsatisfied with your response here, the trial will be over with immediate effect.
He's gonna hit me with the gavel! He's gonna hit me with it! He's gonna use your
This judge
throttle
is
super!
so threatening.
Yeah.
Arcus can use the level 3 super from Marvel.
No!
If you get this wrong, it
No!
won't do it. It won't do it. That's
You won't
okay.
do it?
It won't do it.
That's fine.
Oh wait, if you get this wrong, there you go.
No.
But look how big my gavel is. It would go. It won't do it.
Okay.
You win this one because of faulty button.
The line, Jay.
Oh, do I make myself clear?
I just realized my voice mod wasn't working. I was using the muffled
Oh.
thing this whole time, and I didn't realize it wasn't working.
Oops. Oh well. Yes, Your
Yeah.
Excellency.
It's fine.
Voice mod is dead. So, take another look at the photograph and imprint that Inspector Hosnaga submitted before. You will identify for the court where in this print you see the significant detail to which you have alluded.
Okay, hold on. I need to test something.
Okay. Ah!
Okay.
Yeah.
Fear. Present.
Yes.
Ah!
I'll give
Ah! Look at this here. There's a very unusual mark on the victim's wrist.
The 6 tattoo, I mean burn mark.
you two. That is true. It looks almost like a burn of some description.
Dear me, I was pondering what new piffle you would come out with. A burn, you say, on the victim's wrists? Why are there so many words that start with a V and then followed by the word that starts with W after each other in this game? Clearly that has nothing whatsoever to do with the magnificent lady's handbag.
Yes, that is a burn mark, you're right.
Wow!
Whoa.
Go on, Inspector.
So many noises.
The police coroner also noticed it when he was performing the post-mortem examination. The cognitive demise. It was deemed unrelated to the cause of death, so he didn't note it in his report.
What did I tell you? In any case, we have no idea when the victim suffered this burn, didn't we? Do we? And no possible way of knowing either. Here's the police to escort you. Let's go.
Oh, the more I look at it, the more I find myself intrigued by the curious shape of this mark. It's like mandibles. However, as prosecutor Aoji points out, unless a firm connection to this case can be shown, I cannot allow any further time to be spent on the precise details of this boing.
It worked.
Thank you.
Excuse me, Your Excellency.
Yes.
It would seem Miss Brett had a lunch appointment with the dean and the other university staff. She would like to know if she may be excused from the stand now.
Oh, of course, dear lady. We shan't hold you up any longer. I'm quite sure His Excellency is about to give his final ruling anyway.
What's your thinking on this, Ryunosuke? Do you believe this burn does have something to do with the case?
To be honest, I'm not really sure. But if I don't keep pushing, then it's all over. So I was thinking I should keep digging and digging in the hope that I might uncover something useful.
Yes, you're right.
I am?
If we could just link that burn to the case, if we can do that, we might be able to prise the shutting door back open again.
Just give up, Counsel. You can't possibly hope to do that.
Indeed. I'm afraid that without evidence, I can't allow you to pursue what is little more than conjecture.
I feel like we know this is a little early. What we were supposed to do.
Evidence that
reverse,
irrefutably linked the... irrefutably linked the burn on the victim's wrist to the case, then you would allow it?
I would, yes.
To tell the truth, I hadn't noticed the burn. But
Didn't?
as soon as you pointed it out, what I did notice was the color draining from Miss Brett's face.
Really? I
What's
have to
left of
find. I have to find some link between that burn and the case. That was like 10 minutes of dialogue. Just give me the photos. I'll do it. This is the moment of truth. The time to find some evidence that proves what the burn really means.
So then, the defense will now present its evidence to the court. The evidence that demonstrates an inextricable connection between the victim's burn and this trial. And
Yes!
someone get me a thesaurus. What is this, counsel? Yet another print?
Yes, Your Excellency. I believe photographic prints are an amazing invention. When we humans look at a scene, we miss things. But in a photograph, things we may have overlooked at the time are recorded forevermore.
Do hurry up, rookie. What are you trying to say? To inconvenience this poor lady any further really would be quite inexcusable.
Actually, we may need you to stay with us a little longer if you don't mind, Miss Brett. You see, it's very clearly visible in this other photograph. How did the victim come to have that unusually shaped burn on his wrist? The reason is recorded here forevermore.
What? How?
Objection!
You can't fool me with your little bluffs, boy! If that's your game, then let's see how it plays out. Show the court exactly what you mean. What is it in this photograph that explains the reason for the victim's burn?
Well, it's this.
Yes!
There it
Yes!
The beefsteak?
Actually, the point is the metal plate the steak was served on.
The plate? Oh!
Your Excellency, are you alright?
Oh my god!
As you can see, there's an emblem on the plate. I would guess it's some sort of trademark of Le Carnival.
Ah!
This emblem on the plate and the victim's burn, Slappa, are exactly the same shape!
Ryunosuke, you're a genius!
You're spot on.
Which means the victim must have suffered this burn while he was present at the restaurant.
Objection!
But even if that's the case, we can't know if it happened on the day in question or not. It could have been the day before or the day before that. It most likely happened at some other unrelated time.
Well,
Objection!
Yeah.
Sadly, Prosecutor Ouchie, the chances of that are extremely slim.
Thanks.
Why?
The outline of the burn is clearly discernible. Such a serious injury would have caused quite a commotion in the restaurant. Wouldn't you agree, Inspector Hosonaga?
I can't imagine having missed such a terrible disaster, certainly.
But
I would say, looking at a picture of the wound, that it wasn't suffered very long ago. And although it's not a particularly large burn, it is extremely well defined, as the defense just pointed out. This was no mild burn, that's for sure.
Can you be more specific, Inspector?
No.
Oh.
Well, let's see. If the plate was around 90 degrees centigrade, a burn like that would have taken around 3 seconds.
It's inconceivable that the victim wouldn't have let out a scream of pain then.
I've been investigating at the restaurant for several weeks already, but I have not heard anyone scream at all. As the head waiter of La Carnival, I could testify that without hesitation.
But you're a detective, not a waiter!
Still pointing. Yes! There you have it. Something isn't right here. As the detective said, anyone who burnt themselves on a piping hot plate for 3 whole seconds would scream in pain. There's no question of that.
And yet, Inspector Hosonaga never heard the professor scream, not on that day or any before it.
That's right. And the strange thing is, on the day he was shot, I didn't hear him cry out either. He was already dead?
That's what I'm thinking. What are you suggesting?
Well, if the professor had carelessly laid his wrist on the plate for anything like 3 seconds that day.
That would be beyond careless, I think, Counsel.
Then the rest of us in the restaurant, myself, the sergeant, and the old antiques dealer, all of us would, without any question, have heard him scream. Wouldn't you agree, Prosecutor Ouchie?
Well, yeah, I suppose.
So the question is, why didn't a single person hear Dr. Wilson scream?
I almost don't believe it. Ryunosuke, do you think...
Can it really be true? I never dreamt we'd arrive at a conclusion like this, but I think maybe Ryunosuke's a little further along in this than I am. I'm starting to think that maybe...
Was he poisoned?
We've been led into a terrible trap. Poison, do you think?
The water.
There's only one explanation I can think of to make sense of this apparent impossibility.
Oh, if it was poison, that would give her a reason to hide the other glass.
Yeah,
That
and
makes
it was
sense.
never tested for anything.
That's true. On the day in question, when he suffered the burn to his wrist, Dr. Wilson hadn't noticed the burn, was asleep, was already deceased. No man could remain silent while his wrist was burning on a piping hot plate for 3 whole seconds. That's clearly impossible. Apart from in one particular situation.
Counsel, are you suggesting?
Yes, it's only possible if the man was already dead.
Already.
Shinderu?
Is already dead.
Knowing what we know now, it's the only possible explanation. Slappa. When the beefsteak was brought to Dr. Wilson's table that day, the professor was already dead. Wait, he was already dead before he was served?
That's
been noticeable.
madness!
Order, please! Counsel, explain this absurd notion at once! The victim was killed by a gunshot!
That's right. You're absolutely right, Your Excellency. This is just another ridiculous bully by the rookie student, but clearly has no grasp of the facts.
No, Prosecutor Ouchie. It's you who has no grasp of the facts. As soon as it became apparent that the victim had suffered that burn while at the restaurant, this whole case was turned upside down. Or have you not grasped that yet? Your Excellency, the court must hear from the witness again. If it's true, as we now believe, that the victim was already dead before the gunshot was heard, it's highly likely that Miss Brett knows something about it.
Incredible! I certainly did not anticipate this twist of events. I'm sorry to say, Miss Brett, that you will have to forget your luncheon engagement.
If we can prove that he wasn't killed with the gun, then we are good. We're off scot-free.
But, Your Excellency!
The justice system in our country may be in its infancy. But rest assured, all reasonable doubt must be dispelled before I am prepared to pass judgment.
Yeah, Thank you, Your Excellency. What was that smile?
Yes, of course. I mean, I'd be
Huh?
delighted to help.
Uh-huh.
Especially if it helps relations between my country and yours.
Eh?
No!
Miss Pratt, you speak Japanese?
Perjury.
Well, of course I do. I am studying in your country after all.
Why didn't we think of that earlier?
But then, why would you have been speaking through an interpreter until now?
My mother tongue, the Queen's English, is the most refined and elegant language in the world.
Oh, you're a snob.
As a gentlewoman, I try to avoid speaking in your vulgar tones as much as possible.
Gross.
Oh, wow.
We don't like her.
Wow.
But it seems the men in this land possess none of the chivalrous virtues of English gentlemen. So I can see that I shall have to lower myself to communicating with you all on your own level.
Jesus.
Oh, well, Davey, you are the epitome of true English gentlewoman.
Epitome.
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 Close enough. We are truly honored by this lavish consideration you so graciously afford us.
Ouch, shut up.
No,
I see. In that case, Miss Brett, I will now ask you to testify in your own words about the events leading up to the death of the victim, Dr. Wilson.
You can step down, Hosonaga.
So we're finally going to hear her own words on the matter.
I'm performing for you.
Things are getting interesting, Ryunosuke.
Hosonaga looking real sad.
my role.
Unfortunately, I have no idea when the poor man burnt his wrist like that. When the waiter brought my steak, the professor and I raised our glasses in a toast. As far as I've heard, the post-mortem report shows no other possible cause of death besides the gunshot. If there's some other way that a man's life can be taken without leaving a trace, please do show me.
Okay.
But of course, this country's inferior investigative techniques probably wouldn't pick up on it anyway.
Okay, she's pretty awful.
She's pretty bad.
That most captivating and beautiful testimony will go down in Supreme Court history. Thank you.
Easy does it.
Under the category of this bitch.
And then like 100 years later, it's like, wow, we found a second person to put under this.
I hope this is the last time I will have to sully my lips with the coarse tones of your unbecoming tongue. Oh, forgive me. I do hope I haven't insulted anyone.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
You've insulted me, and I don't even
not
speak
at
Japanese.
all, not at all. It is a delight to hear you speak, dear lady. And it seems very clear from your testimony that this boorish talk of the victim's burn is utterly irrelevant.
I will be speaking to your country's Minister of Justice about what has happened here today.
The Minister of Justice?
May that irritating little bully of a student be given the harshest punishment possible. Amen.
Eh?
But
Thanks. Was that a prayer then?
Well, you'll have to forgive the irritation, Miss Brett, and put up with a cross-examination now.
Why don't you wait for your mic again?
I'm not.
Yes, you.
I expect you've noticed that this little bully of a student, as you put it, doesn't miss much.
I'm sure I don't need to remind you, Counsel, that this will be your final cross-examination in this trial. If you fail to demonstrate any problems with this witness's really good testimony, I will be ruling on the case immediately. Is that clear? Don't look at the camera. Okay.
Yes. Your Excellency.
Then you may proceed with the cross-examination.
I actually liked that. That was good.
Mhm.
The face clapping thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's go time! Come on!
Yeah. So now that we kind of got past all the things here, I just would like to comment from Clues earlier that was, to be fair, Sass is good at making him Auschwitz sound pathetic. I don't know if to take that as a compliment.
You're doing a good job playing the character.
Yeah, good work.
Yay!
Anyway, yes! But his hand was on the searing hot plate for at least 3 whole seconds. You can't not have noticed. Also, Hosonaga, how do you know the specifics of how long exactly that would take and the exact... Well, it's fine.
He's a detective.
I'm a detective.
He just knows that info. It's fine.
Sure.
Yeah.
People burn all the
Do-
time.
Do you think so? Let me ask you something.
Sorry?
Ever since I arrived in this courtroom, and even still now, the fly on those unsightly black trousers of yours has been wide open.
Hosanaga's like, is that true, Ryunosuke?
You can't not have noticed, can you?
Wait, oh,
How did you?
ah!
You're both aware.
What fun!
I like that Ryunosuke hits the back wall and then some sort. It's great.
It won't zip up. Trust me, we've tried.
You
Ah!
hadn't realized?
That was her.
The dear lady's absolutely right!
As your friend, you've embarrassed me as well as yourself, Ryunosuke.
No! Why didn't you tell me?
You want to wake up from a bad dream, is he?
Dr. Willison was a true English gentleman. He chose honorable silence over a vulgar scream. Can your tiny brains imagine such a thing?
Oh yes, I think my tiny brain can!
Yes!
Yes! Tiny brain ouchie. Well, I can't.
Anyway,
You suck, lady. Let's go. Yes.
Yes!
As you testified before, you were drinking carbonated water. Is that right?
Dr. Wilson was only permitted to drink water at the time, if you remember. Which explains why he ordered that drink. Correct, waiter?
Exactly as you say, sir. Although,
Although...
whether or not the professor actually drank any of the water when I delivered the steak on the table, I'm afraid I don't remember that.
damn you.
I have enough English to understand that. At least. But I better know the others in court. It means, bless you.
Fuck you, ouchie. I think it means the exact opposite.
Anyway,
Oh, right, yeah.
Yes!
Yes! Yes, it's written here in the paperwork. Fatal hemorrhagic from ballistic trauma.
yes.
Luckily for us all, or for all of us, a little burn on the wrist isn't going to kill us. And as there are no other signs of trauma on the victim's body to indicate some other cause of death, it can only have been the bullet from your gun that put an end to this innocent man's life.
But it doesn't make sense! The burn must have happened straight away when the plate was first brought to the table by the waiter.
Yes, that's true. If it had cooled even slightly, it would have been able to make a burn like that.
And if the victim burned his wrist on the hot plate as soon as it was brought out from the kitchen, then he must have already been dead at that point.
Objection!
And yet, the fact is that the victim was killed by a gunshot to the chest. Until you're able to show the court evidence to disprove that, this is a complete waste of time.
I concur. Prosecutor Ouchie is right. Where though it is.
Oh.
Yes!
Yes! Without leaving a trace.
If someone is shot or strangled or stabbed or thrown from a height. However, a person's life is taken, there are always telltale traces on the body.
Quite right there, lady. And as our police force has thoroughly examined the body of the deceased, there can be no doubt. Is that right, Inspector Hosanaga?
As I've said, I always aim for a flawless investigation, even though I forgot about the purse, but let's forget about that.
Yeah.
There would be physical traces with all those causes of death, that's true. But maybe there's some other way of killing someone that doesn't leave a mark.
If heaven forbid you doubt me, young man, you're going to have to tell everyone how exactly you think the professor did lose his life. Otherwise, I'm afraid your argument falls rather flat, doesn't it?
Oh no, perish the thought! Calling such a sweet young lady's innocence into question? On my honor, I, Taketsuchi Ouchi, will cut down any who dares cast such aspirations.
A way of killing someone that leaves no trace.
We need some evidence to back us up here.
Yes, evidence. Yes, evidence. Here we go.
Yes!
Yes! Inferior? What do you mean by that?
In the lands of the Great British Empire, the police store everything found at the crime scene for later examination. But in this country, you investigate once, and that's the end of it. Isn't that so?
In 100 years from now, at the very least. Quite right! La Carnival is open for business as usual again today. Just days after the incident.
Exactly. Which means that even if the investigation takes a different direction, vital evidence may be lost. Do you have something to say, Detective?
I'm dying.
Very well. It doesn't even occur to your naive detectives to try to preserve the crime scene. I'm trying to be as tactful about this as I can, you understand?
Killer blow! The lady is as formidable as she is beautiful.
Amazing. He's actually admitting our police may be flawed. Perhaps Prosecutor Ouchi is finally starting to see sense.
I very much doubt that.
Still, there's something about what Miss Brett just said. There was a moment before when something didn't seem quite right. Why are you still on the stand, dude?
This is his last stand.
Oh no.
What do you think, Ryunosuke?
I think it's going terribly. No matter how much I press her, I'm not turning up any new information.
Yes, as I suspected. She's a tough witness. We need to find a way to break her testimony, or the cross-examination will be over.
But that would mean I have to find a way. There must be some clue somewhere to help us find a chink in her armor. Kazuma.
What, Ryunosuke?
There is one thing I noticed. Something that's been bothering me.
Bothering you? You mean about Miss Brett?
Actually, no. About the person standing next to her, Inspector Hasanaga.
The detective?
Yes, he seemed to react a little strangely to Miss Brett's last statement. I was wondering if
I'm dying.
Yeah, we know. It was I was wondering if it might be significant, if it might present an opening, maybe.
All right, I have an idea. Try pressing her on that last statement one more time.
If you think
you
so,
think- But this time, instead of targeting the woman herself, let's see what we can get out of the detective.
all right then. I wonder what Kazuma's thinking. I'll find out soon enough, I suppose, once I press Miss Brett on her last statement again. Okay, I'll do that.
Do that, please.
I'll do that. I did it.
Yes!
Yes! Inferior? What do you mean by
And-
that?
Just keep going until that happens again.
Okay.
Wait.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, and that's the tell.
Okay.
A very subtle one.
Yes, there it is again! The detective's reaction is just the same as before. Why?
Up until now, the detective has been in the stand with Miss Brett as her interpreter. But things are very different now. For this testimony, the detective is just listening to what the Englishwoman has to say. This could be a golden opportunity.
What do you mean?
When people are actually testifying, they're usually very careful not to let anything slip. However, when they're listening to someone else speak, you'll find they often let their guard down.
You're right. Look at him. He's lost in his own thoughts.
Look at that blood.
It's time to pursue the man and his train of thought.
Sorry? Pursue?
I'll explain how to do it now, Ryunosuke. It's all to do with the witness marker.
What marker? Oh, that.
At the moment, we're focused on Miss Brett, who's the person actually making the current statement.
Okay.
But by moving the marker left and right with where and what, you can turn your attention to the other people in the stand. While you're looking at the other witnesses, you'll be able to pursue them with A. If you can catch the person at just the right time, you might uncover some new information to pursue. If you ever notice a strange atmosphere among the people on the stand, take a good look around.
Alright then. So, first I should move the marker across with the and focus on the detective. Then pursue him with A and see what's on his mind. Here we go!
Exactly. Which means that even if the investigation takes a different direction, vital evidence may be lost.
Hey you. Pursue. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Excuse me.
Excuse me!
What's the meaning of this?
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to shock you. Wow. He really was lost in his thoughts. Deeply.
It looked like you were thinking about something just now, Inspector. Perhaps having heard what the lady next to you had to say?
If there's something you'd like to say, please, share it with the court.
Objection!
What is the meaning of this?
I really like that sprite for Ouchie.
It's a delightful Englishwoman who's testifying at the moment. If you can't find fault with her testimony, then the cross-examination should be over. Immediately.
Oh, is that how it works?
Absolutely not.
Eh?
Absolutely not. The detective is in the stand, which makes him a valid witness.
Slap him! Oh, damn it. Yes! Not to mention the fact that he's intimately involved in the case.
Inspector Hosonaga,
Yes?
do you have something to add in relation to the statement just made by Miss Brett?
Well, yes. If you don't mind, I would like to speak. Yeah, you stay quiet, you. The lady is right. Our our country's police practices are not as modern as those used in Great Britain. Which is why I, Satoru Hosonaga, always strive to make every investigation I'm involved in flawless.
What do you really mean by that?
I'll tell you what I mean. I won't have evidence lacking on my watch. I'm not afraid to take everything I can from the scene of the crime. It's preserving evidence, you see.
Damn.
Like Phoenix does.
I don't care if they call me a crime scene thief. I'm not ashamed of what I've done.
So you did take something from the scene.
A crime scene thief?
Well, it looks like the lady's remark touched a nerve there.
Take this, for example.
Is that...
This is a bottle of carbonated water that I took from the victim's table on the day of in question.
to it?
It's quite flat now.
Yes, it's quite flat now, having been opened 3 days ago now. But it was carbonated water. I don't care what anyone says.
Yes, there's some left in the bottle. I can see it.
One day our police force will be among the best in the world. The time is coming, I guarantee it.
I think I just figured out where this is going. Oh no.
Oh, yeah. We've already been through this, Ace Attorney.
I can't say I condone the witness's actions, but I do understand the sentiment. Was he gonna eat the glass bottle? The court will accept the glass bottle of water as evidence.
Carbonated water has been entered into the court record.
Miss Brett? Can you confirm this is indeed the bottle from which you drank on the day of the victim's death?
Yes, it was that bottle.
What was that about? She seemed to avert her eyes when she answered the judge's question.
Very well. Counsel, you may resume the cross-examination. And the inspector will kindly control his fervor.
I really like Hosonaga.
Hosonaga good.
Yeah, Hosonaga good. So then, as far as I've heard, if there's some other way, do I just present?
Wait, we haven't really looked. We need to examine the bottle.
Oh
Examine the bottle.
Examine the bottle.
The bottle is examined.
The bottle.
The bottle.
Bowl.
Look at the bottle!
The label is written in a foreign language that I don't recognize. Do you know what it says, Kazuma?
I think it's French. This must be very expensive water.
Why would you order French carbonated water?
Yes,
Quoi?
what does it say?
Statement.
That's what I was asking.
Then go to France and ask.
You could just say that you don't know.
Too easy.
So this carbonated water is the last drink Dr. Wilson ever had.
It looks like there's a little left in the bottle, although it's just plain water now.
You know, I've been sweating so much, I'm absolutely parched. Rinosuke!
No,
I'll
don't
just
do
have a
that.
sip of this, keep me going!
No, Rinosuke, you can't do that!
Evidence.
For one thing, that's evidence. You can't go drinking evidence.
Oh no, you're right. We don't know what might be inside, do we?
You never cease to amaze me, Rinosuke, in more ways than one.
I wonder, could there be anything in this water?
What's the matter? You've gone quiet all of a sudden.
I think I might have just worked something out. An interesting possibility. Okay, did that actually add something? It didn't change the evidence as far as I can tell. Can I look in the bottle, maybe? Maybe not. That seems a little fishy. Okay.
Could you empty the water?
Yeah, just
What,
dump
flip
it
it upside down?
dump it
Nope.
right out, okay? Alright.
Gravity defying.
Oh, that's why it's French.
Rinosuke is just turning himself upside down.
Yeah, I guess that's it.
Do
Do
we
I-
just present the bottle here?
I'm a save. How about a save?
Yeah, that's fair.
Haven't
What was the
saved
last
it.
time you saved?
It was last
Right
time.
now.
Actually, it was a
That's
few
way
minutes
too long.
before
Well, there's
stream.
an autosave, isn't there?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's true. Also, it's on the Switch, so you know it's easy to just even
Oh,
if the
yeah.
power goes out, you still have it.
I'm
Thank
gonna
God
try.
for that.
Yes!
Yes, it worked.
What is this? The bottle of water?
Actually, there is one method of killing a man without leaving a trace that comes to mind. Obviously, I'm referring to poison.
Uh-oh.
On the day of
No,
his
the
death.
hydration bot. No.
Adam, not the time!
Adam, why did...
in your next break to take a sip or two of water?
Sure thing, Adam. I will!
Rushing water. Drink
Rio's-
that shit.
Ryunosuke's just like, thank you, Adama Spot, appreciate it.
Glug, 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 glug.
On the day of his death, we know that Dr. Wilson drank from this bottle of carbonated water. Could it be that there was poison inside? Could it be that the professor actually died after taking a sip from this glass?
Order, order.
Slap!
Everyone redeeming sips right now. Don't do that to us.
And on that day, who was sitting at the same table as the professor and able to slip the poison into his drink? You know, chat, that's reasonable doubt. You guys are trying to kill us. There's only person who could have possibly done it.
Oh no.
Giselle Brett, it was you.
Objection!
This is outrageous. To suggest such a thing without a scrap of evidence.
He's only
You little rookie imbecile. Have you even considered the delicate situation our country finds itself in now? Have you forgotten that we have just only signed Have you have only just signed an accord of friendship with the British Empire? Have you even a vaguest inkling that your rash accusation could jeopardize the entire treaty?
Objection!
Who gives?
Not you again.
This is not a political arena. This is a trial to determine one individual's guilt with respect to one crime.
What?
The fact that this woman is British makes no difference. We are here to determine the truth.
Ahem. If I may.
I will silence you forever for this disgraceful.
Shut up!
She got her own voice line.
Oh.
It is you who should be silent.
Of course. Care lady.
Where did that come from? She got her own voice clip.
I'm afraid I may have spoken unfairly before. Maybe. I offer my most humble apologies.
I'm sorry, my lady. To what are you referring to? Of the many?
I described your police force as inferior. But no matter how inferior they may be, you still investigated this particular point thoroughly, I believe. The bottle, I mean, Inspector. And whether it contained poison or not.
Of course.
You did?
That's where you're backpedaling.
Have you forgotten what my guiding principle is already? I strive for a flawless investigation every time.
I don't believe it.
Naturally, we tested the inside of the bottle and its contents.
And? What did you find, Inspector?
I ordered tests for every toxin that's available in this country at the present time.
That's very specific.
In this country.
In this country.
We could find no trace of poison of any description in the bottle of carbonated water, Your Excellency.
I'll just lean in on that statement like,
What? Are you sure?
The tests were meticulously carried out by the chief coroner himself.
No. No!
Why are you so upset? This would help you, Case.
No, it doesn't.
Not yet.
I'm very grateful to all you Japanese. You've successfully established my complete innocence in this horrid affair. Thank you.
But of course, dear lady, the pleasure was all ours.
I was so sure.
This can't be right. Everything falls into place if he was poisoned.
I mean, isn't it more likely that she would poison the glass instead of the bottle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, would that be easier to conceal?
In her handbag, maybe?
Yes, she hid one of the glasses in her purse.
Thank you, Counsel. I think that cross-examination has clarified everything.
Oh.
As the prosecution has attested, a shot to the chest from this gun is the only conceivable cause of death.
Further question, why has this not been added to evidence yet? It's very important.
Don't worry about it. No, it's only a gun.
Furthermore, the accused, who by his own admission was holding this weapon, is the only possible culprit.
I'm done.
Don't worry about the gun.
The court wishes to apologize for the great inconvenience this has caused you, Miss Brett.
Oh no, I'm just glad this matter is resolved.
Before proceeding, I must ask the counsel for the defense. Do you have any further new evidence to present the court at this point? And please say you do.
Kazuma.
Oh,
I'm sorry, Inosuke. I have nothing more.
Well, if you'll excuse me now, I really must be leaving.
Oh, it's not good. Oh, hi. Oh, hello.
Oh, madam.
Hi there.
Hi.
Please, wait!
Maya.
Isn't that new Maya?
What is the meaning of this? Naya, what are you doing here?
Forgive me for intruding on court proceedings, Your Excellency.
I am.
Susato Mikotoba, judicial assistant to the defense.
Mikotoba. In my darkest hour, with nowhere left to go, she appeared like a bolt of lightning, like a bolt from the blue.
Like a bolt from the blue!
And in her hand, she carried a small package wrapped in a furoshiki cloth. But we don't see that. It's fine.
Not that important.
Is that gonna be? Is that a big? Yeah, it is.
To be continued.
To be continued. We're only halfway through.
It's a second gun!
Well, maybe it's 3 parts. Could be 3 parts.
It's a
We're halfway through the stream, I meant.
Oh, I see.
yeah.
Here we go.
Let's go. Time for the Ace Attorney review.
It's time for the Grace review. It's 1:14. We've been here since 8. This is a long trial.
Everyone's tired and
Oh.
sweaty. Well, I understand you are the judicial assistant to the defense, but why this sudden ingress into my courtroom?
Ha! A judicial assistant and a woman, no less.
Fuck you,
Whoa,
OG!
Okay,
well.
fuck you.
The rule states that females are not permitted into this court of law other than to testify.
What?
Yes.
I know it's old
I-
times, but screw you.
Yeah. Yes, I fully understand. I ask for only 5 minutes of time. I have some vital evidence that I must hand over to the defense.
Ha! You're too late, little girl. This trial has already been concluded.
5 minutes. I will not allow a moment more.
You know, last stream, Ouchie didn't do anything particularly terrible, but now he's a fucker. He's a big asshole.
No, he's a fucker.
Excellency, I had the case wrapped up so neatly.
I am most grateful.
Oh, hello. 3 people? 3 people at the desk? Wow.
3 of them.
A little crowded back here.
Who exactly are you?
I'm sorry. There's no time. Please, simply accept this for now.
Oh, okay. What is it? A report about something written in English.
It's Giselle Brett's research.
Nice. The English woman's?
After the trial resumed earlier, I hurried back to the university.
I just remembered Giselle Brett is a medical student. Ha ha ha.
Oh.
I went to Dr. Wilson's laboratory in the medical faculty and borrowed this paper.
Kazuma.
Oh yes, that's right. Miss Brett was studying under the professor, wasn't she?
So, does this research, whatever it is, have something to do with the case?
I'm afraid I don't know. I haven't been able to listen to the proceedings of the trial myself.
Oh, no, of course not.
Special characteristics of karate? And its effect on human subjects. Interesting.
Curare? What's that? I've never heard that word before.
Time's up. The prosecution demands the immediate removal of this female trespassers from the courtroom.
Can I look at it yet? No.
No.
Not yet.
Nope. Not in your record yet.
Can we punch him yet?
No.
Yes.
I'm too far away. You can't reach me.
We have a
There
sword.
was too little time for me to read it in detail. But I've summarized what I could on the note just inside the cover. If you think it could be valuable, please cast your eye over it.
This is wonderful. Thank you. Yeah. Gimme.
Now we can examine it.
Goodbye then, and good luck.
And I will.
Hold on. Before you leave, let's just examine this.
Poison made from the bark of certain trees in the jungles of South America. The hunters of the region have used it since ancient times to incapacitate their prey. Effects: instant paralysis of the paralysis of the entire body and subsequent death, even in minute doses. Route of entry: the above-mentioned effects occur when the poison enters the body through a wound, such as that inflicted by a blowpipe dart. Okay. Due to its ability to render the human body paralytic, it's believed that the toxin could have an application as an anesthetic. However, a solution for the respiratory arrest caused as a result of the full body paralysis must be found first, or patients would die of suffocation. Solution for respiratory arrest caused... Oh, I see. Okay. So it's a poison if you leave it unattended.
So it
Okay.
paralyzes you, which causes you to stop breathing.
Okay. Bye, Susato.
You have had long enough, Counsel. We cannot detain our English guest any longer. I ask the prosecution and defense now one last time. Does either side have any further evidence to present to the court? I presume not, but...
The prosecution has made its case convincingly enough already. Nothing more to add, Your Excellency.
Yunosuke, we're out of options here. This really is our very last chance.
It always is. Yes, I know. Huh. Your Excellency, the defense does have new evidence.
That look. The unyielding stare of a true Japanese warrior. Well, Miss Brett?
You can say samurai.
Japanese
Yes.
warrior.
Yes, Your Excellency.
If you wouldn't mind, perhaps you would grace us with your presence a little long.
Sorry.
Samurai round.
Cut out
And
like
the
at
judge-
the very end of that sentence.
I was gonna say it was
Oh.
weird for him to say Japanese, then I realized it is not weird for like an American to say like a true American soldier.
Oh, yeah. Hoorah!
It's a delightful invitation, but I'm afraid it's not so very long until tea time, so I have to politely decline.
Forgive me, Miss Brett. It seems I wasn't clear. I realize it was phrased as a question. However, I must ask you to treat that as an order.
I love this guy. He's great.
I've said it many times before, but the Japanese language makes no sense.
You are English.
My apologies, dear lady. So, counsel, what is the new evidence that demands the court's attention?
Boy, I wonder.
That one.
Yes.
I
Yes.
wonder.
Miss Giselle Brett, we understand you were studying under Dr. Wilson at UMA University, doing research. Research by sheer coincidence, perhaps, into a deadly poison.
What?
Poison? This is the first I've heard of it. Where are you going with this, counsel?
A toxin known as curare, Your Excellency. Even the slightest amount of this deadly poison entering the body leads to instant death.
Objection!
Well, what complete and utter nonsense! Curare, you say? I've never even heard of it!
You wouldn't have done.
What do you mean?
I mean that you wouldn't have heard of curare before for one very simple reason. It doesn't exist in our country.
It doesn't exist.
Correct. Which means, no matter what test the police can do for toxins, they'd never identify curare. Why? Because there is no test available here that can identify the presence of this highly deadly poison.
What?
Order! Counsel, does this deadly poison truly exist?
According to this report authored by the visiting research student from England, curare has long been used by the tribespeople of South America as a poison to lace their arrows. It seems that it's reasonably well known among European doctors and scientists.
To lace their arrows?
The report states that it is produced from the extract of a tree that grows deep in the Amazonian jungle. And it was first brought back to Europe at the turn of the century by explorers. It claims that animals shot by arrows laced with curare suffer instant death. Doesn't that about sum it up, Miss Brett?
Objection!
Trumpery! These assertions are aspirations, are utter trumpery. What does that mean?
I don't
Aspersions?
know.
To start with, if the victim had been admonished some of this so-called deadly poison, yes, please.
Aspersions are like accusations, but a little softer.
I meant trumpery.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
He would have been squirming and writhing in pain, and the other diners would have surely noticed.
That is true. What do you say to that, Inspector?
Oh. Obviously, I would have noticed a disturbance like that.
I don't remember anything like that either. I didn't notice the professor being in any kind of pain.
According to this, however, it's the other way around.
What do you mean, the other way around?
The very fact that the victim didn't show any visible signs of distress is evidence that curare was used.
Explain yourself, counsel.
The moment this toxin enters a person's system, it causes instant paralysis. In other words, afflicted victims lose all strength and are completely unable to move. Even if they were in total agony, there would be no visible signs of pain at all.
How terrible.
Obviously, if a man lost all strength in his muscles, he'd collapse on the floor. But with a chair under him for support, as Dr. Wilson did, the effects could go largely unnoticed.
But I don't follow, Kazuma. That's just paralysis. I thought the poison caused instant death.
The full explanation is extremely unpleasant. The poison causes immediate paralysis, as I said, leaving the victim unable to move. But after a short time, the paralysis is so severe, it causes the muscle that control respiration to fail.
Respiration?
In other words, the actual cause of death is suffocation.
Oof.
Horrifying.
And all the while, the victim is conscious and aware, just unable to move.
Oof.
That's hideous.
Is it during this period of time that he got the burn mark too?
Probably. He was probably being burned while suffocating.
Sucks.
Yeah. To the observer, it would look almost like the victim was slipping peacefully into an endless sleep. But for the victim himself, his final moments would be a living hell. That is the true nature of this deadly curare poison. I don't know how it's pronounced, I've only read it.
I don't even know if it's a real word. Chad, are we
It
saying
is?
it right?
Yeah, Karare is the way it's pronounced.
Curare, okay.
Cool.
And you are suggesting that this bottle, Council, actually contains this terrifying poison?
Attention!
This is all very convenient, isn't it? The hitherto unknown poison for which there is no means of testing. What a happy tale for the defense.
Ahem. If I may.
All these facts. You think you're so clever, but you must be.
Shut up! It is you who must be taught.
Of course. My dear lady.
So, this is how you Japanese behave, is it?
What?
You steal another's honest hard work and then announce the results as if you discovered them.
Again,
I'm
you are
appalled.
British.
What a loathsome act!
Well, Miss Brett, the feeling is mutual.
Whatever do you mean?
Capitalizing on the unfortunate circumstances of an innocent man to frame him for a heinous crime? That really is a loathsome act. Wouldn't you agree?
Attention!
Enough of this. I, for one, refuse to accept it.
Shut up, Ouchie!
No,
No one asked you.
it's my job.
Mr. Chad.
The idea of the idea of some poison that doesn't even exist in the great empire of Japan is breaking the rules.
We have all the poisons.
Ha ha ha.
What's so funny?
Oh, excuse me. Your Excellency.
Yes, Miss Brett?
May I borrow that bottle for a moment, please?
Well, yes, I don't
He's gonna
see
try and get the
why
flex.
not.
Yeah, as said, I don't think the bottle's poisoned.
Here you go.
Don't get too big for your boots, you insignificant little island boys.
That water is flat, you barbarian. Sorry?
To an Englishwoman such as myself, this whole affair is a farcical comedy.
Where'd you get that glass?
I had it.
Your little police games and these foolish courtroom antics. It's laughable, really. But I'm getting bored of it all now. It's time for the games to end. Cheers.
Cheers, love.
Cavalry.
Wait, what are you doing?
Drink that shit.
No sparkle left at all. How appropriate for this shabby affair.
I've always believed in it.
Goodness. Whatever is the matter? You all look quite stunned.
So, no curare. The bottle was clean, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, but if the bottle was clean and then the glass was not, then you did it for sure.
We'll get to the glass.
Ah,
You look quite incredulous, little boy. But of course, that's the simple truth. Thank you for presenting the findings of my research so concisely here in this grand venue. Most kind. Thank you, waiter. Now then, Your Excellency.
Yes, Miss Brett.
I should like to be excused now, please. I think I've given more than enough of my time for the furtherance of friendship between our countries.
Yes, dear lady. Well, we are most gratified with all the assistance you have given.
Oops.
There had to have been poison in that bottle. How did she? How did she swallow a whole glass and live to tell the tale? I don't understand it.
Well, I suppose if nothing else, this little Far Eastern charade will make for an interesting conversation at the next party I attend in London.
There has to have been poison in that bottle, doesn't there? Wait, there has to have been poison in the bottle, doesn't there? I don't think that works, but that's fine. But there can't have been, because otherwise
British.
she would have keeled over dead. Come on, Ryunosuke, we have all the clues now. That bottle of water contains no poison. As I thought, there is no poison in that bottle.
What? Why, Ryunosuke?
Isn't it obvious? If there was poison in there, she'd be dead by now.
Yeah. Sometimes your unadulterated naivete really astounds me.
No, the point.
But sometimes it's in need of a good staining until it's as dark as your uniform in the ways of the world.
Oh, is that what this color is supposed to represent?
That
What?
was a guileless ending to a promised line of inquiry, counsel, for which you will be penalized.
Wait, what? This whole trial is poisoned. there has to have been poison in that bottle. Hang on. Should be killed over dead. What? Poison may instant paralysis of the entire body, subsequent death. Above mentioned effects occur when the body enters the body through a wound. When the poison does that.
Wait,
Oh.
it's not fatal if you drink it. It might be fatal if it enters a wound.
Is it through the burn?
Maybe.
Maybe? Okay. There can't have been, because otherwise she would have killed over dead. Come on, Ryunosuke. We have all the clues now? Okay, well, I guess I messed up. Slappa! The culprit did put curare poison into Dr. Wilson's carbonated water. The defense refuses to change its position.
You're serious?
Objection!
Fool! Are you blind? There's no possible way that bottle could contain poison. I mean, we just saw!
Miss Brett drinking the water from it?
Yes?
That's right. Which rather complicates your argument, I think.
And I believe that complication can be explained.
How exactly?
I need to think through all the things that don't quite add up here, one by one. I'm sure the answer is in the evidence we have in the court record somewhere. It has to be.
Very well. If the defense truly intends to assert this claim, then I must ask you to support the assertion with evidence. What explains how the witness yes?
Yes! The answer to this riddle is right here in Miss Brett's own research report.
Objection!
That's not a valid explanation!
No?
After all, we don't speak English! That report is utter gibberish! This impudent young scoundrel is trying to ridicule the court, Your Excellency!
Wait, how were we able to read? Oh, wait, no, it's because Fusato gave us
Yeah.
notes.
That too, but also, don't we read English?
A little. You study,
How much?
you're like an English major.
I see.
Oh, I see.
I'm not trying to ridicule anyone, honest. I'm just reading Susato-san's notes.
I concur. This report is too extensive to be considered in its entirety by the court. You will direct us to the Pernian Section Council.
Okay.
Which
so,
section of the report reveals the alleged answer to this riddle?
just to be sure, special characteristics. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, there we go. We've been hearing a lot about this curare poison, and it's left me curious about something.
Oh, Council?
Well, it sounds as though indigenous hunters have been using this poison for years and years to lace the heads of their arrows that they shoot at whatever prey they're hunting.
So we've been led to believe, yes.
And the point of hunting is to catch prey to eat.
Get to the point!
But if they were to use these laced arrows, doesn't that mean there would be traces of poison left in the prey the hunters were going to eat?
Yes, good point.
So surely the hunters wouldn't want to eat their prey, would they? Because then they'd be eating poison.
Good gracious, Council! Now that would be madness.
But I actually found the answer to that conundrum in this research paper here. Under special characteristics, it says this. The poison starts to work after entering the body through a wound.
Through a wound, you say? I see, that makes sense.
Yes, the mention of that particular detail seemed a little strange to me, though. So, if somebody had a cut on the inside of their mouth...
Maybe.
And this man just went through dental surgery.
Oh!
Surgery.
Oh!
Yeah.
Yeah! See, I just said that as a joke, but then you took it a step further. Great, nice.
Yeah.
But it all makes sense when you interpret what's written like this. When curare enters the body through an open wound, it has terrifying poisonous effects. However, slap 'em. When it enters the body via the mouth, it has no poisonous effects whatsoever. What?
Yeah.
Miss Brett, you authored this research. You knew curare's special characteristics. And you knew that you could make a spectacle of drinking that water without any danger to yourself.
You meddling little
What?
What?
rapscallion!
Honk.
Honk.
Well, Ryunosuke, it turns out You're an even better lawyer than I thought you'd be.
Really? Me? A lawyer?
Objection!
Oh, all this boys talk is fascinating, sure. But I fail to see how it could possibly.
Shut up! So, the ill-bred little puppy has a new toy to play with. Some facts he read in a book. But I'm afraid knowledge doesn't suit you, little boy. It only makes you look silly.
What are you trying to say?
You'd like
Your
to, idiots.
schoolboyish logic has a fatal flaw.
Schoolboyish?
As even your brain has managed to deduce, Karare is safe to ingest. It seems likely that its effects are neutralized by the acidic nature of gastric suckers.
Suckers, yeah. Oh, yes, well, of course. Gastric suckers? What are they?
Yeah.
So, if this lethal poison is completely harmless when drunk,
Oh, Gas Trick! I love that game. And director even.
the professor wouldn't have died when he swallowed it, would he?
That's right.
Good gracious!
That's basic science. Science that even a schoolboy should be able to understand, no?
Order, order in the court, order! The logic holds. If the lady and the professor drank the same poison, they would be affected in the same way.
Are you trying to suggest?
Yes, this Kurara poison is completely irrelevant to the case on trial.
That's right. Surely even a little cockroach like you would understand something as simple as that.
What is this welling up inside me?
I think there's an objection.
I've never felt like this before. It's a sort of conviction to break down all the discrepancies. It's so intense, almost rage-like. And more than anything else, it's an animalistic desire to take down my prey. Ha!
Objection!
Objection!
Objection.
The mask!
I don't think so, Miss Giselle Brett.
How dare you use that tone with me?
You know very well that there's no fatal flaw here. You know exactly why, even though both you and the victim swallowed the same poison. You are alive, but Dr. Wilson is dead.
Counsel, I'm sure I don't need to remind you. You must provide compelling evidence. As we now know that this poison is completely harmless when ingested, why would Dr. Wilson have been killed by the cook hair?
Dental report.
Take that! As Miss Brett so readily pointed out, she drank the same water as the professor. However, there was a fundamental and fatal difference between the two diners.
A fatal difference?
The toxic effects of curare are only felt when the poison enters the body through an open wound. So for a healthy person with no injuries, drinking it is completely harmless. But what if there was a wound inside the mouth of the person drinking the poisoned water?
Inside.
Yes, like the wound you might have if you had just been to the dentist and had a tooth extracted, for example.
Ah!
Miss Brett,
Stole my line.
you've acknowledged many times in your testimony already that you were well aware of Dr. Wilson's dental appointment that day.
Ugh.
So that's it. You used that knowledge to orchestrate this.
Is she laughing?
I don't like to repeat myself, but honestly, I can't resist. These childish courtroom games and your half-baked arguments are so puerile.
What does that word mean?
Don't worry, little schoolboy. You'll find out soon enough.
Eh? Huh? Eh? Oh?
Huh?
Eh?
Oh! Like a ball!
You see, when you leave vital evidence lying around, you never know what might happen to it.
No!
I mean, it could just slip.
Hosanaga! No.
I'm dying.
Oh dear, how careless of me. I'm afraid some crucial evidence may have just been tragically destroyed.
You just tamper with evidence in a courtroom.
No!
She did.
What is
What
it?
is
What's
this?
just
What just
happened?
And in the Supreme Court was a chocolate blubber.
Officer, what are you waiting for? Collect as much of that water into the broken bottle as possible! At once!
You're wasting your time. This delightful carpet under my feet here was a gift from the British Empire.
Oh, come on.
I assure you it will soak up the water beautifully. You have neither the technology nor the presence of mind to recover it.
How could you? You won't get away with this!
You can thump the bench and shout as much as you like, little boy. But I'm afraid we'll never know now, will we? If there really was any poison in the bottle, or not. And let us not forget, we still have some very compelling evidence left intact. Isn't that right, counsel for the prosecution?
Oh, of course, of course. You're referring to the photographic print, I presume, my dear lady.
That's right. And really, looking at this photograph, it's as clear as day, isn't it?
She would laugh.
The poor prosecutor was sitting with his back to me.
Professor.
Professor, sorry.
Prospector.
Prosecutor!
So of course the only person who could have shot him from the front is the little schoolboy.
No! You killed the victim that day, using curare. And then, in order to frame Ryunosuke Naruhodo for the crime, you waited until he picked up the pistol you'd arranged for him to find on the floor, before you shot the professor's dead body in the chest with your own hidden gun. Then, in the confusion that followed, all you had to do was turn the dead professor and his chair around. You see, you had every opportunity to commit the crime.
What a
Wow.
wonderful imagination you have, young man. A hidden gun, you say? And I shot the professor's dead body, did I? Well, I'm terribly sorry, but you don't have a shred of evidence.
Exactly. And as you have nothing to support your wild claims, the prosecution's stance remains unchanged.
We did, and then you destroyed it right in front of everyone.
The victim, Dr. John H. Wilson, was killed by a gunshot to the chest. Delivered in cold blood by the accused, Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
This is unbelievable. How can this be happening? We had her, but now, is she really going to get away with it? And whatever happened to Kurokuta's Koban coin? The way she destroyed that evidence was obscene.
Ryunosuke,
Yes?
we've come this far, but now you're the only one who can finish it.
What do you mean?
We've lost a vital piece of evidence, it's true. So if there are any clues left for us to use now, they must be in your head.
In my head.
You told me before that your powers of observation were the one thing you could really depend on.
Well, yes, that's true, but I didn't manage to notice that this woman was a foreigner with a swan on her head.
So think back now. Try to remember every last detail about the scene that day. Everything you saw, everything you felt, every color, every smell.
I'll be watching you.
What I saw, what I felt. Every color.
Red.
Oh, really?
A1.
Is Kazuma right? Somewhere in the vibrant memory
Brown.
of this same scene in my head, could there be another clue to expose the identity of Dr. Wilson's killer? Yeah. Actually, Kazuma, I think I might have something. Thinking back over everything I saw, I think I might have uncovered another clue.
You always have something up your sleeve, don't you, Ryunosuke? Come on, then. Let's wipe the smug smile off the Englishwoman's face with some evidence.
Huh! Alright, I can't wait! It's been niggling me for a while that something feels amiss in the memories of that day. Whatever it is could be the key to arriving at the truth about all this. It's here somewhere. The clue that shows who Dr. Wilson's real killer must have been is... Well, I'm gonna try the blood. Take that! Inspector Hosonaga, answer me this!
Yes, what is it?
He's still miles away, probably thinking about that bottle being smashed.
My evidence.
His evidence. As you've said a number of times now, you strive for perfection in your investigations, don't you?
Absolutely.
I wonder, therefore, if perhaps you took anything else from the scene of the crime. Like, for instance, the plate of steak that you took to the victim's table that day?
Objection!
Wait a minute. Where are you going with that?
Shut up! Where are you going with this, little boy?
That was my line.
It's just
Shut
a
up.
memory. It's just a memory that's been troubling me.
What memory?
I saw the scene shown in this photographic print with my own eyes that day. And I saw that on the wooden base of the plate that the steak was served on was a spattering of blood.
What?
Oh, really? And what of it? Obviously, that must have happened when you shot the professor.
No, that can't be the case. Take a good look at the photograph and the relative position of everything there. The plate of steak is almost directly behind the victim. If I'm supposed to have shot Dr. Wilson in the chest from the front, there's no way that blood from the victim could have ended up directly behind him.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Yes. For the blood to have made it onto the plate, it implies the plate was between the victim and the shooter. Which means the shooter must have been sitting opposite the professor as you were. Giselle Brett?
I beg your pardon.
Objection!
This is beyond ridiculous! Fabricated nonsense! Is the court seriously expected to believe something the accused just has apparently just remembered seeing?
Hold it! Oh, never mind.
That was me. This could be the moment that my entire career in the police force has been leading to.
Inspector, you mean...
Yes. I took the plates in the interest of preserving evidence from the scene of the crime.
You beautiful bastard!
Thank you. I took it, meat and all, and I don't care if they call me a crime scene thief because of it.
No one is saying that, but okay.
You did what?
She will very soon. I took the steak and that you had been eating, Miss Brett. I took the steak that the sergeant has been eating.
That the sergeant had been eating?
And I did it all in the name of justice.
Nice! Then we can find out for sure whether or not there is a bloodstain on Miss Brett's plate. We must examine it, now!
Inspector! The court wishes to examine the plate from the victim's table immediately.
I'm infecting you.
You
You've
son of a
infected all of
bitch!
us.
I didn't. Anyways, yes, sir! Sorry for the delay.
He got his nose real close to it. He's like, oh, it smells good.
It's 3 days old.
It smells good.
Here's what you ordered. The steak.
Well, what about the blood? Is there any blood on it? Is it rare?
Of course there isn't.
Quickly, Inspector, the blood man, show the court!
Of course. Examine the plates at your leisure.
And you brought it here with you.
Damn it. No blood. No blood anywhere. But no, that's impossible!
No.
I know I saw it. I'm sure of it. It was right there on the table behind the professor. There was blood on the side of the plate.
What an unbecoming expression, little boy. You see? This is why I always say you can't trust what the Japanese tell you.
This is a really good expression right here. I like it. Ah!
I couldn't agree more. In the case of this disgrace to the Empire.
Okay. I believe we may have finally reached the conclusion in this trial that I am not allowed to say out loud.
Let's hope so. This let's pretend attempt at a courtroom proceedings is painful to watch. But I do promise to do my best to forget all about it when it's over.
This sorry-looking steak reveals the fact all too clearly.
I'll leave it.
If the sorry-looking accused wishes to examine it again, be my guest.
We need luminal fluid.
Fine now.
We don't have those now. Ha
Meow.
Was the plate I
Meow.
saw, or thought I saw, just a figment of my imagination? I don't know, Marino's gonna let me have a look. Okay. The back. I can't find anything out of place. Okay.
Are we sure this is the right steak?
Yeah, compare it to the other one in the photo.
This emblem on the side of the plate. Is it a cat? What?
It's a cow.
Would they know? Would they have seen one before?
It's a pig.
Most likely because the restaurant's signature dish is beefsteak. It seems a lot of different restaurants have their own unique tableware.
So this is the symbol of Le Carnival, is it?
Kind of slipping
Okay.
into Edgeworth, aren't they?
Oh, the Koban coin! Huh? I knew it wasn't gonna just disappear. I knew it. What in the world is this?
I think it's a Koban coin. And the hallmark is from the Hoei era, I believe.
No,
Coin!
I don't mean what it is. Was it a coin? I don't mean what is it?
Coin!
I mean, what's it doing there? Under the steak. Wait, did you just say it was a Hoei Koban?
Yes, and apart from the meat juices, it looks to be in good condition. I imagine it's very valuable.
So why was the sergeant acting all shifty about this then? Did he put this here?
Is this might be the sergeant's steak?
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Why?
This is the wrong steak.
Yeah, wait a minute. Hosonaga said that he grabbed the sergeant's steak. Why? Why?
He
Why did
brought
he
out
do
the
that?
wrong steak.
Preserved all of the crime scene.
But why not grab the other steak? It's fine.
I think he grabbed all of the steaks.
Then why not show that one? Fine. This isn't the first time today that there's been talk about Hoei Koban.
I've heard of pearls before, swine, but I've never heard of bullion and bullion.
and I don't think you ever will again. This is extraordinary, though. This means, well, I mean, great, good. Yeah, we'll just continue.
Can we look at the crime scene photo with
Sure.
the steak in it to see if there
This
are
is
different
it.
bite marks or whatever?
This is it now. I've lost.
That one.
It actually does look pretty similar.
Hmm.
Yeah. Weird. Ryunosuke. It's not over yet. Not until the final gavel.
Eh?
It's the final gavel. Don't stop
my best.
believing in yourself. Keep looking forward no matter what.
Don't stop.
I'm
Believe
really-
it.
Jay, no.
I'm really on an 80s kick.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Believe in myself. Really? What's the 80s?
The,
You mean the eight-
What's the age?
the
The
1780s.
The 1780s?
Which-
Yeah.
What century are we in?
19.
Okay, so 1880s.
The 1880s.
Maybe I should at least examine the evidence for myself.
Already done.
As the evidence requested by the defense has not been shown to be problematic in any way, I presume any further examination of evidence in this trial will be unnecessary.
Mm-mm,
A little problematic.
mm-mm.
Does the defense have any objection?
Yes! That bloodstain was going to clinch the trial for me. Can this plate of steak reveal any other clues at all? Yeah.
Yeah?
Ha! Your Excellency, please wait! This plate of beef is hiding another clue! Another clue that will reveal the shocking truth.
Objection!
The only thing that's shocking here is your unhealthy fascination with beefsteak.
It's delicious!
Your Excellency, I think I've made myself clear, haven't I? I will not be able to turn a blind eye to any more unnecessary procrastination in this trial.
I'm sorry, Miss Brett, but we must ensure a thorough examination of the evidence. I will not be giving a ruling until I'm completely satisfied that all reasonable doubt has been dispelled.
I see. As a newly affirmed ally of my country, that's still your position, is it?
Thank you, Your Excellency.
Counsel for the defense, you will now clearly show the court to what you are alluding. Where precisely on this plate of steak, is the new clue to be found?
Where-
Under the beef.
Well, I guess I do here then.
Under the beef.
Okay, here we go.
Under the
Ah!
beef.
What in the world? Wait, we're doing this?
I don't think you press percent, so I think you just open it. So just...
I'm a fool. I'm a fool. I'm a fool. I'm
Well-
sorry, video game. I'm sorry, video game.
It's important though. I think we need the Cobra coin to do it.
Release me.
Hold B.
I am holding B.
Oh.
Bullion and
Mash B?
bullion. Oh.
I'm mashing B. This is the fast. This is the max speed. Oh boy.
Maximum overdrive.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, all right. I guess that was important then. Got it.
Good gracious, that's...
Ah.
Oh my god!
What on earth?
You can go faster, but I think you need to enable it in the settings.
Oh, weird.
Text skip
Wait
on.
time?
Further down, there's a scroll bar.
Adjust the length of time until the next line of dialogue is. Oh, that's auto.
Oh, yeah. It might be text skip then.
Yeah, it's probably this. Okay. Enable or disable the skipping of unread text in the main game. Escapades text is skippable from the start. Escapades text.
I
Don't know what
believe
that
that's
is.
a side thing in the future.
Oh, okay, great.
Oh no.
You said that.
Ahoy, Erewhon at that.
Miss Brett. This is in fact the beefsteak that you ordered at the restaurant on the day in question, is it? Tell me, why is there an old coin seemingly hidden underneath the meat?
Shut up! What a ridiculous question. How should I know? I've never seen that thing before in my life. I I don't know what it is, and I want no part of it.
Objection!
I fail to see how this is relevant. A coin under the meat. That could simply have been a careless mistake by the chef in the moment of distraction.
Objection!
Don't be absurd. We're supposed to believe that this happened by accident in the kitchen? A rare Hoi Koban just happens to be hidden underneath that piece of steak? If this turns out to be irrelevant to the case, I'll rip up my ticket to Great Britain right now.
He's right. It can't be a coincidence. Huh. Your Excellency,
Yes, Counsel.
a rare Hoei Koban just happens to be hidden underneath that piece of steak. If this turns out to be irrelevant to the case, I'll give up my lawyer job right now.
Objection!
You're not even a lawyer.
Oh,
Exactly.
please, don't let us stop you. No one invited you anyways.
Shut up.
Shut up. Perhaps, little boy, you should realize that it is you who is irrelevant.
Even though I'm the one on trial here? Ha! The point is, it's essential that we ask the owner of this coin if he can explain what it's doing under the steak.
The owner?
Yes, it's obvious. There's only one person it can belong to. The owner of the Koban that was found underneath the beefsteak is Korakuda, but I'm curious. Okay, it's just those. Okay. Here, take this.
Take that!
Ha! Obviously, it can only be the antiques dealer and owner of Rasute, Kurio Kurakuda-san.
Curie, as in Mr. Cucumber something. Honestly, these ridiculous Japanese names are quite unfathomable.
Oh, you're talking about Benedict Cumberbatch.
Ah, yes. The old man who testified earlier alongside the military sergeant, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes, Your Excellency.
I remember him saying that when he was up to something with his Koban coin when it happened. At exactly the moment the gun was fired.
I'm blanking on this guy's voice. How am I doing that?
Very old.
Old man.
Oh, the gun shot at you, didn't me not! I was far too busy on the floor.
There he is.
got
It's
it.
Korakuda. Yep.
Oh my.
Too busy on the floor. Sorry, what were you doing?
Hunting for treasure. Indeed, the Hoei Kaban, my prized coin. Don't forget it. Then this Hoei area Koban. Do you mean to tell me the obvious?
No, please. Why would Korakuda-san's Koban, Korakuda, be sandwiched between the victim's beefsteak and his plates? It makes no sense.
Hosonaga, please pipe up. You already said it was the lieutenant's steak. Yes! Which is why I'm asking you to bring Korakuda-san back to the witness stand so we can ask him.
Officer! Bring both witnesses that testified earlier back in here. Without a moment's delay.
I can't believe we've come back around to that pair again. But I have a hunch, a strong hunch, that if we chase down the real significance of this Koban, we'll find that it's a key element in the case.
To be
continued
continued
again?
Nope.
No. Say hello to 4 people.
Four
Technically
people
five.
on the witness stand!
Technically
Very
five.
big.
Count 'em 4.
5.
Oh yeah, 5 actually.
Oh yeah.
The baby.
Baby.
The baby.
Wonder.
Wonder.
This was you.
Oh, this was me. I forgot. What's this all about? Why have I been called up again? Don't you realize it's dinner time for little baby Ido? When my son's belly is empty, he's fiercer than a pack of wolves.
Exploited by the police we were, like miserable dogs forced to bear false witness. And then cast from this courtroom, myself I became a ruined man with a trice, a worthless, withered antique.
Hey, Korakuda, maybe the knife can go sit elsewhere for a little while. Not that I'm worried somebody might grab evidence from someone else.
Oh, just 'cause there's a baby to my right. Come on now. Nothing more I have to say. The sun has set on this Rasute shop owner's existence. My coin is gone. Be that as it may, Kurakuta-san, something has come to light that requires your clarification. As far as your Rasute members...
Oh,
yes!
oh no!
Yes! That's it! That's a one!
no.
That's the one! The very one! To be the exact one that is! Where's my knife?
Are you okay?
There's something afoot! The resplendent, splendoriferous Hawaiian treasure that is my rusty bones managed in misplace that fateful day!
Why did you have a knife in the courtroom to begin with?
We all know why you had a knife in the courtroom to begin with. It can't be.
He's going to kill the sergeant.
He lost his knife, so it's fine now.
As I thought.
Young man! Enlighten this criminal fool! Put me out of my misery! Where is my treasure? Where was it dropped?
Oh, I'm not sure if it was dropped anywhere.
We found your coin sandwiched between a beefsteak and its plate, soaking in the seasoned meat's juices.
Sandwich? Soaking? Seriously?
Clearly, it couldn't have fallen there by accident, which means somebody must have hidden it there on purpose.
Somebody concealed my Hawaiian treasure between a slab of meat and a metal plate? Who would do such a thing? Such an inconceivable thing!
Maybe we shouldn't tell him.
Excuse me. Could I say something?
Yes, of course.
Proceed, Inspector Hosonaga.
I mentioned this earlier in the trial, but I was working undercover in the restaurant in order to investigate another case.
Ah, yes, that's right. The secret undercover operation.
La Carnival is a high-class Western cuisine restaurant. It attracts wealthy diners, including many foreigners. Recently, there's been a run of similarly executed thefts, targeting the restaurant's rich clientele. A number of such incidents have been reported to the police bureau.
Wicked crimes indeed.
We wanted to nip the case in the bud quickly, especially with so many foreigners being affected.
So that's why you were sent in undercover, is it?
Yes. I took on the job as a waiter at the restaurant in order to flush out the criminal. It seems likely that this Koban incident is the work of the same thief.
So unbeknownst to us, there was a master thief at work in the restaurant on a regular basis. The place was already the scene of several crimes, it seems.
I don't know about the master thief part, but the identity of the person who stole and hid Korakuta's-san's Koban is all too clear.
Uh-oh. Don't let there be a murder in this courtroom.
What? I think the court would like to hear the defense's view on this matter. Tell us who is the despicable scoundrel that stole Korakuta's-san's Koban and hid it under the sink.
Okay, can we get the bailiff up on the stand before I say this, though?
Take that!
Take that! Obviously, it can only be you. Sergeant Iesa Nosa!
How dare you! You monster!
Monster?
Your child is disappointed in you. I stole that Koban, did I? I'm the master thief of La Carnival, am I? You're seriously accusing me of these crimes, cadet? But it wasn't me. It was Ido. Ido is the mastermind behind all this. Sorry,
You're
cadet, throwing you
really
under the bus.
blaming your infant child?
Nosa!
You're the fall man.
Well, actually, one time when I was a baby, I pulled the fire alarm twice behind my dad while he was holding me. So, happens.
You would push the blame for your crimes onto your own son, an innocent little baby? It's you who's the monster, Sergeant Nosa!
Innocent? You've never met a baby, have you?
Oh. Huh?
This is your water.
Clippity, gah!
Oh, he's cut off.
Yes, it was
maybe.
me.
Oh?
Waluigi!
Oh, Waluigi.
Where?
The Wario. Nippon Imperial Army Sergeant Yasunosa, preparing to stand down in the Supreme Court, sir.
Oh.
That's a Wario mustache.
Oh.
Do any of you know of the extraordinary low wages the Nippon Imperial Army pays to those it expects to keep our country safe?
I understand that the temporary increase in taxation owing to the recent ended conflicts remain in place. And I have heard it's fall for lower ranking soldiers. Oh, to make a living, yes.
All I want is to put a hot meal on the table for my son.
That's why you were stealing things at the restaurant.
The place is heaving with money. Every 3 days, I'd go there and do a reconnaissance for a target. And I'd enjoy chomping my way through a good steak at the same time.
It sounds like he doesn't bother with a knife and fork even, which is worryingly believable.
And your target for that day was that old man and his koba. Yes, sir. He was an easy mark. I slipped the coin into my pocket without any trouble at all.
A veritable phantom thief you are.
You'll never see it coming. I was all set to leave the steakhouse, was halfway through devouring when it happened.
Bang. Yes, when the professor was shot.
I knew that if the police conducted a search and found the coin in my pocket, I'd be finished. Ido, too. So I hid the incriminating evidence as fast as I could, on the double. I slipped it under the steak, hoping I'd be able to rendezvous with it again at a later date.
Oh.
This is ridiculous.
Yep.
Wow.
Perhaps you could carry on with this absurd prattling in your own time.
Well, Miss Brett,
Oh, of course, dear lady, of course. How rude of us.
stop trying to get rid of her, man.
I'm quite sure there's no need to detain you any longer at all. Ladies, esteemed gentlemen, please be excused, Your Excellency.
Indeed. The theft of the Koban was clearly perpetrated by this baby-saddled sergeant. It would certainly appear to be unrelated to Dr. Wilson's murder.
Of course it is. Hiding a coin under a lump of meat. The sheer nonsense of such an idea astounds me.
Nonsense, is it?
Well, Wah-ha-ha.
Yeah?
And
Have a
as for
rotten
picking
day.
up your steak and biting into it without using a knife and fork? It's
You have
beyond
a-
nonsense. It's pure madness.
Very well. Now that all questions concerning this witness's testimony have been answered, I see no justification for detaining her.
But we just confirmed that that was the wrong steak!
Miss Brett, you are free to leave.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Good luck, everyone.
Yeah, that's not the steak that we were talking about.
Yes! And good day.
This whole sidebar.
To the floor.
This whole sidebar seems unimportant because Hosonaga already said it was a different plate. Ah!
No, it didn't. He
didn't
said
say
that he
that
took both.
He said it
He
when
took
he.
both. No. He said he took both, but he said that the steak he presented to the court just now was the one at the table where the crime happened, which is not correct.
I thought that he said when he presented the steak, here, this is the sergeant's steak.
No.
No,
That did not
Professor's steak.
Ryunosuke, what's the matter with you? This is no time for daydreaming.
Oh, no, it's just something about Miss Brett's parting words there got me thinking. I can't quite work out what exactly, but something she said jarred with me. I feel like there was a contradiction in there somewhere. Something didn't quite add up.
If that's the case, don't stand there thinking, make your voice heard.
Sorry?
Shout!
You can think later, but if you don't call out now, it'll be too late. The trial will be over.
Hold it!
Wait, Miss Brett!
What is it now?
I'm afraid just one last time, there's something I'd like to ask you. I'd like you to explain the contradiction in your parting words from just a few moments ago.
What are you talking about? What contradiction?
Attention!
Hey, what new student nonsense is this?
Well, what parting words are you talking about, Ryunosuke?
Hiding a coin under a lump of meat. The sheer nonsense of such an idea astounds me. And as for picking up your steak and biting into it without using a knife and fork, it's beyond nonsense. It's pure madness.
Agnes?
Yes, I'm right. What she said there exposed an undeniable contradiction.
I'm going to need to see evidence, Counsel. If Miss Brett's words are truly contradictory, where is the evidence to prove it?
I guess it's this.
Take that!
Take that!
The steak that Miss Brett had been eating before the professor was killed? Oh yes, go on.
Also, does his voice clip have an English accent?
Yeah.
Sounds it.
I mean, why would he have an American accent?
Why would he have...
Maybe they just
Any
had
accent.
a bunch of English actors in the studio.
Hmm.
I was like,
More
just record this too.
More accurately, Your Excellency. The steak that was on the victim's table just before the professor was killed.
Now you're just splitting hairs.
Not true. Doesn't something about this steak strike you as very unnatural?
Unnatural? What on earth do you mean?
It's extremely obvious. I'm talking about the shape of the edge where it's been eaten.
Ah!
I see you've noticed it too, Miss Brett.
Notice what exactly, Counsel?
Just a few moments ago, Miss Brett claimed no Englishman could even contemplate picking up a steak and biting into it without using a knife and fork.
Of course she did. She's a refined English gentlewoman herself.
Then take a good look at the steak, in particular the edge where it's been eaten.
Chomp.
As you can see, there are clearly defined barbaric teeth marks there.
Ah!
Bah!
Looks like Miss Brett has realized something.
So, if the witness, as she claims, wouldn't contemplate eating anything without using a knife and fork, there shouldn't be teeth marks in the steak at all.
Attention!
What? What is your actual point? Perhaps the delightful Miss Brett was ravenously hungry and...
Shut up!
I love that the font is different.
Oh, whatever you say there, lady.
As I said, I really must be leaving now. Afternoon tea with the Minister of Justice cannot possibly wait any longer.
Of course, of course. This will be over in the blink of an eye. Rest assured, I'm about to...
Shut up! Again. I've heard enough. You irritating little spectacled samurai relic.
Of course. Dear lady!
What's the matter, Miss Brett? Have we ruffled your feathers?
Clearly, the witness knows what this means. She's realized the catastrophic implication these teeth marks in the stake have for her.
Ryunosuke, do you know where you're going with this?
Let's do this scene again.
Yes, now at last, it's all come together. The mysterious teeth marks in a steak that had allegedly been eaten with cutlery. The reason why the bloodstain I saw somehow seems to have disappeared.
The stakes were switched.
And most importantly, the evidence that proves once and for all who shot Dr. Wilson that day.
I accept that these teeth marks in the steak are a little unnatural, as you put it, Counsel. But what exactly are you suggesting that tells us?
Everything, Your Excellency.
Everything?
Yes, I believe that these barbaric teeth marks in the steak here amount to conclusive evidence in this case. Evidence that will prove beyond any doubt who shot Dr. Wilson.
Shut up! Conclusive evidence? How many times have I heard that today? You wouldn't know the meaning of the phrase. Typical Japanese empty threats.
How can you be so sure?
Oh, it's quite simple. If you really had such conclusive evidence, you would have presented it to the court long ago.
Actually, the evidence I'm talking about hasn't been brought before the court yet.
Hasn't been... What?
But just because it hasn't been shown yet doesn't mean that the evidence does not exist.
This is absurd. The trial has run several hours already. And you think there's evidence yet to be brought forward? There can't be. I don't believe you have it.
Objection! I don't, but there's someone who does have it. Someone in this very courtroom. And if that person is willing to submit the piece of evidence I'm referring to, it will solve every remaining mystery about this case.
Very well. I have a feeling this will be my last request of the defense for this trial, as I have said before.
Well, he hasn't said that, but, you know.
Who possesses the conclusive evidence that will reveal the truth of this whole affair?
This man.
Take that! The answer is obvious. It's Inspector Hosonaga.
What? I have it?
Yes.
You think I've been withholding conclusive evidence?
No, I think you made a mistake. I think you're a very silly man.
That's your thing?
No, I'm not saying that. Everyone's attention has been focused on this steak with the teeth marks.
Yes.
Now, earlier this afternoon, Sergeant Nosa told the court the following. I'd enjoy chomping my way through a good steak. and as well as admitting to stealing Korakuda-san's coin, he told us that he slipped it under the steak.
Now you watch it, cadet. I'm a superior officer.
Sergeant Nosa, could you please confirm something for me? Was the steak that you put the coin under, in fact, your own steak?
Attention! Affirmative, of course. I might be a soldier of the Imperial Nippon Army, but still. I'm not brave enough to ask a foreign gentlelady if she'd mind me manhandling her meal to hide something in it.
In other words, the steak that the detective submitted as evidence earlier was in fact Sergeant Nosa's meal.
Fine. That makes no sense. That plate was taken from the victim's table.
Objection! Yet the gentlewoman doesn't take bites out of her steak, nor did she have any opportunity to steal the coin.
Of course I didn't steal it. To even suggest such a thing would be an affront to the entire British Empire.
Well then, how do you explain this paradox?
Exactly. Surely you're not going to suggest that the surgeon switched the two stakes over?
We are now.
You did switch the plates.
Well, after it happened, when I saw the civilian had been murdered right in front of my eyes like that, I panicked. As I said, I immediately lifted my stake and hid the coin underneath it. But then when the waiter announced he was an undercover policeman, I thought I'd had it. If he decided to investigate my slab of meat, that'd be it. I'd be getting my marching orders.
Under the mic.
I moved away because I thought I was going to be loud.
That's all right.
So when the cadet here was arrested and taken off to the kitchen, I seized my chance. With military precision and timing, I switched my stake with the one on the foreign lady's table.
What? You can't have. I never saw you do such a thing.
It was called Operation Lightning Bolt. There was no time for strategic planning. It was do or die, I tell you. So yes, I did what had to be done.
Unbelievable!
Oh my god. However, if you're not prosecutor, son.
What now?
I swear in the brass buttons of my uniform, that is all I did, sir.
I wish you didn't do that!
Yes! Yes! Me too! So, if Sergeant Nosa switched the plates over, it means he took Miss Brett's steak and the plate it was on back to his own table.
Yes, that follows.
Inspector Hosonaga.
Yes.
I see how he got confused now. Okay. Earlier in this trial, you told the court this. You said that you had not only taken Miss Brett's steak after the incident, but also the sergeant's. That to preserve evidence, you had taken both.
Uh-oh.
That's correct.
Then please present it to the court now. The plate that was actually on the victim's table at the precise moment he was shot.
Shut up! Shut up! What can that possibly tell us now? I mean, a cold slab of tough meat? It can't have the slightest bearing on this case.
Objection!
Objection! Nope, never mind.
No, you're not wriggling your way out of it this time, lady.
I beg your pardon.
Oh, thank you, Clueless.
Surely you're not that forgetful. Surely you remember the reason why the steak pan promises to prove such a problem for you? No?
You're the ones who decided it was a problem, not me.
The reason the defense asked to see that plate was to confirm something the defendant remembers seeing.
Thinks he remembers.
I'm quite sure of what I saw, Miss Brett. On the side of the plate that was on the table directly behind Dr. Wilson, there was a clear spattering of blood from the gunshot wound to the victim's chest.
I believe the defendant's memory serves him well. And now we have the evidence to prove it. The plate you were eating from, Miss Brett.
Let us not prolong this any further. Inspector, will you show the evidence to the court? Present the beefsteak and the plate that was originally on the victim's table at the time of the incident.
Yes, sir! Sorry for keeping you.
There it is.
Nice.
Here is the other steak at its plate.
Why didn't you didn't make a bigger deal about the blood? I mean, clearly you'd seen it.
This was a rare steak.
Well,
Could have been mistaken for meat juice.
his own blood.
Mistaken.
Mistaken?
Hosanaga's just like, boy, I don't remember bleeding on this, but I guess I do it a lot.
Please feel free to examine it.
The bloodstain. It's clearly visible, look!
Yes!
Yes! Now this makes everything clear. The blood you can see on the side of the plate shows that at the moment the victim was shot, he was facing the table with his back to me.
In other words, it's impossible for Naruhodo-san to have shot the victim.
Ah!
It can't be.
In fact, there's only one person who could possibly have shot Dr. Wilson from the front. I'm sure everyone knows by now who that person is. That's right. Miss Giselle Brett. It's you!
Outdone by a Japanese. Me? By a Japanese schoolboy? No. No, no!
Oh, yeah.
Ah!
What does it mean?
It's alive! Ah!
Oh my god!
It's little chicks!
Babies!
Chicks?
Baby geese!
Gosling,
Very cute.
Oh my god.
I love them.
Oh my god!
She's dead!
She died!
I love it. Come on out, it's cute.
They're everywhere.
Everybody gets to keep
They're
one.
really cute.
They're really cute.
What am I gonna do with this?
Raise it. Love it as a son.
I'm sorry if I hurt your ears. I wasn't expecting to do a scream like that either. Please excuse my little outburst. I briefly
Little.
lost my composure.
Briefly.
Most unbecoming behavior for an English gentlewoman. Forgive me.
Well, Miss Brett, I think it's time you told the court what actually happened in that day. The truth this time.
Gladly, Your Excellency. It was I who took the professor's life using karate. As you surmised, I chose that particular day for one very important reason. The professor had a dental appointment for the extraction of one of his teeth in the morning.
So you planned to kill the professor, knowing that no trace of poison would be found in his water. Because karate is unheard of here in Japan.
Yes. Of course, I never intended to remain at the restaurant for as long as I did. I only needed to see the professor take one tiny sip of his water, and it would be all over. I would place the steak I had ordered in front of him to make it appear as though he had been dining alone, and leave immediately. However, before any of that happened, there was an unexpected visitor at the professor's table.
Hi. That would be me, I suppose.
Yes, you. Who else? Such a trifling matter. But the fact that you decided to come over and greet the professor meant that I had lost my chance to slip away unnoticed.
You did? Couldn't you have just excused yourself? I don't know.
Well, then she would have been really noticed by Naruhodo.
Yeah, and possibly, well, no, other people saw her. In due course, the professor took a sip of his water and then was paralyzed. I made sure he was sitting in his chair such that he wouldn't fall. There was no going back at that point. So I concocted a plan on the spur of the moment.
Plan to pin Dr. Wilson's murder on this innocent man.
I happened to know that the professor carried a gun. I decided to use that fact to my advantage. I had the bottle of Carrare in my handbag, and my own pistol concealed under my skirt.
Under your skirt?
So I was right. There were 2 guns.
Yes.
And then I finished my coffee and got up to leave. That's when I noticed the professor's gun, which you had presumably placed on the floor. Placed where you were sure that I would notice it.
And everything went according to plan. You noticed the gun as I'd intended. And then, just as you bent down to pick it up,
That's when you shot the professor with your own gun. Even though at that point he was already dead.
naturally, the gunshot caused a commotion, at which the waiter appeared.
Obviously, I assumed Naruhodo-san was the culprit and apprehended him. I took him to the pantry that adjoins the kitchen and locked him inside.
That's when I took the opportunity to turn the professor and his chair around.
Because, of course, you needed to make it look like the defendant had shot Dr. Wilson from where he'd picked up the gun.
So there you have it. That is the entirety of my misdemeanor. Your Excellency,
Yes?
I wonder. Might I speak with you in private later?
Mhm.
I shall call you.
Thank you. Good day then, everyone.
Hmm?
I hope you can forgive me, Naruhodo-san.
Let's see.
Bye now.
Hmm.
She's getting off, isn't she?
It would seem this trial has finally run its course. I presume the prosecution is in agreement?
Read this can't be.
I
Taketuchi Aoshi
presume.
does not lose. Not to the likes of this rookie student.
You'd better start getting used to tough opposition.
Ah! Yunosuke Naruhodo!
Yes?
This insult to the Aoshi family name will never be forgotten.
Nope.
You've become conceited with age, Counsel, but the old have to stand aside and make way for the new. It's the way of the world. May you never forget that.
He did!
You cut his top knot.
Good.
That's really bad.
You lose.
1,000 millennia may pass, and still the Aoshi clan will never measure up to the Naruhodo clan.
Did you just send a curse on me?
You sure did.
I think he did.
Your descendants are
This-
doomed.
No!
This trial in the Supreme Court of Japan will, I believe, go down in history as the start of a new chapter in the country's judicial system. despite being summoned as the accused. You, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, presented an excellent case.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
The use of evidence and deduction to unravel the truth is a modern methodology. After all, it's only been a few short decades since our country opened its doors to the wider world. But the Western idea of science are rapidly gaining acceptance here. I feel sure that science will soon bring new methods of investigation and new procedures of justice. A new future of law awaits. But what will it look like? I cannot begin to imagine. That is for the young to pursue. Kazuma Asoji?
Yes?
Get an easier name. After this trial, you are set to embark on a journey of discovery to the illustrious British Empire. Learn all you can. Absorb everything of the wider world you are able to. And do not forget to fulfill the mission imposed upon you.
I understand, Your Excellency.
What was that about? Why do you look so grave all of a sudden?
Never mind.
Uh-oh. As for you, Ryunosuke Naruhodo,
Oh, yes.
in you I sense, how can I put it, unusual potential. I very much look forward to seeing how you carry that onwards.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
It is time to deliver the final verdict. I hereby find the defendant, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, not guilty.
Yay!
Yeah! Oh, Sakura Blossoms. That's nice. I like that.
Blossoms.
Yeah, baby! Good trial.
Good trial.
The court is now adjourned. I have to pee.
246. Oh, I can't believe it. I can't believe what's happened. I made it! I defended myself and made it through that horrendous trial!
Ryunosuke! You finally pulled it off. Congratulations.
Well, I couldn't have done it without you. Thank you, Kazuma.
No. It was a pleasure to watch you at work. So you owe me an extra large sukiyaki from the place on Yuma University Street. Don't forget.
Susato?
Good afternoon.
I
All your hard work has certainly paid off.
think it's the old man.
Nope.
No, it's fine.
We had the higher sounding beep boops, so it was
Oh, you heard that?
Defeated by sound design.
Congratulations
Sound
to
design.
both of you for proving Naruhodo-san's innocence.
Our trusty judicial assistant. You worked hard for that result too, you know.
Oh no, I didn't do anything.
Thank you so much! If we hadn't had that research paper of Miss Brett's, I don't know how things would have turned out.
Your kind words really should be for my father. I was simply doing as he asked. It was his idea for me to go to the university and investigate.
Your father? Yes, of course.
Forgive me for intruding on court proceedings, Your Excellency. Susato Mikotoba, judicial assistant to the defense.
Speaking of Mikitoba, there it is.
Rounder.
Wound.
What was your voice?
Ah, there you are. I believe congratulations are in order.
Yeah, that's about right.
This guy would be voiced by J.K. Simmons in the English dub.
Oh, yes.
Naruhodo, you did an excellent job.
We are the English dub. What are you talking about? Thank you, Professor.
I am J.K. Simmons. I've been...
Oh no, it is I who should be thanking you after all. Your efforts exposed the true criminal that took the life of my good friend.
Good friend? Oh, yes, you mentioned that before. It was you who actually invited Dr. Wilson to Yume University, wasn't it?
Yes, that's right.
Professor Mikotoba studied overseas himself. He went to study forensic medicine in Great Britain. Presumably that's when you met Dr. Wilson?
Exactly. In those days, we worked together in the same hospital.
Oh, you work together.
I've never heard you mention that before.
Well, it was a long time ago now. Besides, it's your turn, Asogi. Great Britain is a magnificent country. It leads the world. In science, medicine, engineering, culture, and of course, in law. Watch and learn, my boy. See what's happening in the world's largest melting pot.
I will. I'll learn all that I can. I swear on this, the spirit of the Asogi clan.
You're not taking that sword to Great Britain, are you?
Of course I am. A Japanese man's katana is his soul. This blade shows me where I need to go. And cuts down anything that's in my way.
Yes,
Aren't the police trying to take it?
I've definitely seen how sharp it is already with my own eyes.
That reminds me, what's happened to the woman? To Giselle Brett, I mean. After all, she's guilty of murder.
Ah, yes, her.
God, I'm forgetting that I'm talking to myself.
It's not easy to tell you this, but
What do you mean? Surely she's going to face trial herself now. She's the true culprit after all.
she will be leaving Japan in the very near future. For Shanghai.
You... What? Shanghai?
Giselle Brett will not appear in court again in this country. I'm certain of that.
What? But why not? Is it her?
It's a matter of consular jurisdiction.
Or
It's
is
a
it me?
matter of
The judge?
consular jurisdiction.
Oh,
It me!
Oh, no.
You.
Inspector Hosanaga!
I didn't hear
It was
the
a hard
details
fought-
then.
Haha, they betrayed you.
Wait,
It was a hard-fought battle in the courtroom today. Very impressive to watch. I must congratulate.
But what's all this about consular jurisdiction?
Those were words.
Yeah.
We cannot try this particular foreigner for her crimes here in Japan.
What? We can't try her? But then who? Who's gonna bring her to justice?
British consular court will hear her case, somewhere far away where our voices can't be heard.
But why a consular court?
Professor, I simply don't understand. I thought consular courts were a thing of the past now that we signed the Friendship Treaty.
Yes, in normal circumstances, you're right.
Then, so long as this is not a serious incident of a highly political nature to our respective governments, they can't invoke a consular court just like that.
Oh, can't they?
Yes, she's a student, but it doesn't justify our governments making secret agreements about her fate, does it? Something strange is going on.
So Miss Brett can't be held accountable for her actions here in Japan.
Diplomatic immunity. I'm afraid that for the young student, today's trial was nothing more than a game all along. There was never any danger of comeuppance for her.
I had a feeling that she wasn't done. I don't believe it!
The British government's Foreign Affairs Ministry has demanded that we hand over custody of Miss Brett. They're obviously taking this case of a foreign student committing murder very seriously.
But it's all going to change from now on. We can make it change. This is a time of great turmoil, this new era heralded by the start of the 20th century. One day, I have no doubt, that woman will receive the judgment she deserves. Yes, change is coming, and we're the ones driving it. Well, I think that's enough seriousness for now. This evening calls for celebratory drinks!
But, Professor...
You're right. This is no time for gloomy faces. We should be celebrating Ryunosuke's not guilty verdict. Let's start having some fun.
Come with us.
Sake for everyone. In that case, might I suggest La Carnival?
Hell no.
Please. As the head waiter, I should be delighted to provide you with ample food and drink.
You just...
You're... You? Yeah?
Sorry, continue.
Oh,
He
okay.
answered my question.
You're a detective, Hosonaga-san, aren't you?
Let's not worry about details for now. To La Carnival! Will you accompany us, Professor?
Yeah, new friend!
Yeah.
Of course, the carnival's food is second to none.
I shall go and attend to the paperwork for Naruhodo-san's release.
You don't want to come too? Oh, yes, thank you. Okay.
Is that guy gonna be our gumshoe? He's too competent.
Maybe. So
He made a
Giselle
couple
Brett...
mistakes, didn't he?
He did, yeah. Although he didn't make as many mistakes as I thought.
Yeah, he's trying.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
So Giselle Brett won't be tried here. I had a thought that maybe his slip up of telling us that he was a police inspector was intentional, but it seems like maybe that's just not the case. Okay. I suppose that means I'll never know. I'll never find out why she killed Dr. Wilson. Kazuma.
Yes, Ryunosuke?
I just wanted to say thanks again. That's all. You really saved my skin today.
I didn't do a thing. You were the lawyer in there, weren't you? That defense was all your own work.
Well,
Your skills made the difference, though. One day, I bet you'll be the best lawyer in the world.
I'm not so sure about that.
Eh?
To be honest, something kept occurring to me over and over again during that trial. I couldn't help thinking that maybe you're the one destined to become a great lawyer, not me.
What? Come on, be serious.
If I helped you today, it was only right at the very start of the trial. But you have a natural talent for it, for being a defense lawyer, I mean.
Oh, no, not me. All that tense verbal combat, I never want to go through that ever again. I did what you told me to do, that's all, because I knew I could trust you.
That's the point.
Sorry? What do you mean, that's the point?
Listen, Ryunosuke. Do you know what the most crucial weapon is that any lawyer needs in order to win?
Knowledge of the law?
No. The ability to believe.
well,
To believe? To believe what?
A defense lawyer has to fight for his clients. He has to believe in them at all times.
Like you believed in me when I said I didn't do it.
I'm human, just like you. I don't have some superhuman ability to know the truth. But you have to make a choice about what to believe and stick to it when you're defending someone. Sometimes in the courtroom, you can really be backed into a corner. But being able to remain faithful to what you choose to believe in even then, well, that's not something that anyone can do. It takes a special kind of person.
Believing in your client.
Just look at today's trial. I'm a student lawyer with precious little real experience, but you never stopped believing in me.
Well,
You faced seemingly hopeless situations time and again, but you never stopped looking for the truth. And in the end, you found it through your own efforts and because you never stopped believing in me.
Thanks, Kazuma.
There's something I want to ask you, actually, Ryunosuke. Well, it's a favor, really. Something very important to me.
Sounds serious. What is...
Ah, you're still here, are you?
Oh, Inspector Hosonaga.
I've arranged some Rick's sauce for us. Let's go.
I don't know what those are, but okay.
Thank you. We'll be right there. Messing up my proposal.
I think those are like pull carts, like someone that runs with you.
Yeah, that's rickshaw. Let's pick up this conversation again later. We should be celebrating right now. Your first court victory.
And your study tour to Great Britain, don't forget.
Yes. That too.
So my very first trial came to an end. Kazuma. Professor Mikitoba. Suzato-san, who acted as my assistant.
Prossifer.
Inspector Hosonaga, who didn't really play much of a part, but still. No, he did great! What are you talking about?
He did stuff.
Yeah, it was because of the help and support of all these people that I managed to get through that trial. But more importantly, Kazuma hadn't yet managed to ask his favor of me. Little did I realize just how much it would change my life. And yeah, baby! We beat it! They said it would take 3, but we did it in 2! Yeah! Nice work, team.
2 points!
That good.
2!
Oh, look at that! Look at that! That's a different backwards picture, background picture.
Hey!
Huh? Hey,
Who are we gonna see next stream?
Who are we gonna meet next stream?
I don't know, but I like the pipe.
Speckled band.
That's a Leroy Jenkins right there.
Oh yeah, no, we have no way to start this next trial before next time.
Next time. All right, chat. Oh, this was fun. I enjoyed this a lot.
Yeah.
This game continues to impress. I have.
Yeah, it's really good.
I have a lot of words to Google later. What are we doing tomorrow?
Tomorrow is Hollow Knight, I believe.
Yay, Hollow Knight. Look forward to that, team.
More bosses shall be cheesed.
Yeah. You watched that clip, did you?
Oh, yes. That's good.
Very good. But for now, everybody, I think we're heading off. Thank you all very much for hanging out with us, and we will see you next time.
It was Sip Soup.
Oh, God. Yeah, it sure was.
It was what?
Bye-bye.
A Sip Soup.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Swan soup.